Oh, hello, hello. What's up, my Infinity family? Oh, I gotta give this a couple minutes, see if anybody gets in here. I'm live again. Hi, guys. How are ya? I'm gonna give this a minute or two. I'm sure everybody's either finishing up with dinner or getting themselves ready for the holiday weekends. It's Good Friday. So let's talk about what's good about it. How are you guys? How are you guys? Please make sure to hit that thumbs up for me on your way in, guys. I appreciate it very much. This way it gets out to the algorithm and more people can see that I'm on and they can come in and chat. If anybody wants to let me know if they can hear me, I just wanted to make sure my audio is okay. I would appreciate it. How's everybody doing today? Hey, Victor. Long time no see. How you doing? See, I said I was going to try to come live again. How are you? Welcome, welcome, welcome. Everybody come on in. Get yourselves comfy for a few minutes. Let's chit chat. Let's catch up for a second. Now that I can actually really pay attention. Victor, my shopping trip was great before, except I got to go back to the store tomorrow. I told you I probably wouldn't get everything I needed. Yes, dinner was good. Thank you. Oh, the oh my God, the clams and oysters on the half shell were so good. Pizza was good too. Thank you. How about yourself? Did you have dinner yet? Hey, Crossroads and Cats, how you doing? Hey, 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 hey. Hi, everybody coming in here. Hello. Hey, HG. How you doing? Kimberly, I'm back. I know. I said I was going to try to come back. Well, it's hard earlier. I couldn't. Oh, following the chat and in the grocery store, it was crazy. I'm like, oh my gosh. Hey, honeybees. How are you, sweetheart? Hi, Diane. Of course. You're always welcome. Everybody's always welcome here. Absolutely. Welcome. Happy Good Friday. We're going to talk about what's good. That's fine, HD. I'm glad. Thank you so much. Thank you for always coming in and showing support. I appreciate it. Yeah, Diane, you're good, babe. You're good. No worries. Everybody have a good Friday. I was on earlier. I went to the Italian meat market to get some stuff for Easter, and it was like the first time I went live. Like when I'm like out and about, I'm like, oh my God, this is tough to pay attention to the chat. Everybody's in the store. I'm like, trying to pay attention to everything. Yeah, no problem, Diane. You got it anytime, of course. Everybody doing well? What? You said you could have sworn? No, I didn't say no. Well, I mean, it's like you're reading my mind, Kimberly. That's funny. That's actually really fun. That's actually really funny. Oh my God. Everybody's doing good. I'm glad. Thank you guys so much. Even people in the bushes, thank you. Appreciate it. You're funny, Kimberly. Oh my gosh. Oh, so, all right. I'm gonna give it a minute or two, see if anybody else comes in before I get down to what I wanted to initially address. But then everybody can talk about. We can always talk about whatever, obviously. Um, oh, that's right, Victor. Oh, crap. That's right. And it's funny. Why do we buy the tickets when it's the jackpot is up this much? Like, not for nothing, but even if the jackpot was like, I don't know, couple 100,000. I mean, I could use a couple 100,000. Like, why don't we buy them even like when it's not up that high? Like, I don't know. Oh, it's the drawings tonight, right? Shoot. What time do we have time? What time do we have until to get tickets? I completely forgot. Oh, the next drawing is tomorrow, so we can get the tickets up until tomorrow, right? Thank you. All right, I gotta put that on my to-do list. I have to tell Mr. Infinity to remind me, or I'll have to put it on my post. I have to write another post-it note. Oh my gosh, you guys, I'm like post-it note crazy. You should see my house. I know her name is so cool, and the way she talks, it's like it's totally 100% like spot on for like who she is as a person. I don't know. It's just perfect. Yes, we love the honeybee's name. Yes, yes, yes. Okay. Victor, you know what? If I go on tomorrow, well, I will probably go on for a little bit to do cooking. And if you come in, you got to remind me again. Be like Cindy, or before the end of the chat, if you're still in, before the end of the live, remind me to go put it on my post-it note. No, Kimberly, I think you can still get tickets in the drawings tomorrow, is what he's saying. Her name is Honeybees. But yes, her name is Melissa. Mr. Tim, what's the good word? What is the good word? No, you can play. It is too much money for one person, but you know what? I'm sure we know a bunch of people that could probably use it, right? We can spread the love. Spread the love. You locked yourself out of your car. Oh no. Oh, I thought you were locked out right now. Oh my gosh. And you managed to pick both locks? Wow, look at you. You're gonna be breaking into places pretty soon. That's awesome. I gotta go. Like, do you guys have like Victor? Do you have a certain place you like to go buy your tickets at? Like, if I every once in a blue moon, if I think of it, if I have cash on me, I'll stop and grab like if I'm stopping on my way home from work and I have to stop at like the gas station or something, I'll grab like a scratch off or two. It's occasionally, but I always get two of them. And like, there's certain places that I like to go to get them. I don't usually have too much luck. There was one time I think I hit for like $100 on a scratch off. That was a while back. But my son likes to scratch them off with me, so, like, I'll get one for myself. I bring 2 home, and he'll scratch the other one. He'll go, "Mom, if I win, then it's all mine." And I was like, "Yeah, but you can't cash in the ticket. You're not old enough." He's so funny. Going to do a bunch of cooking? Me too, Mr. Tim. Oh, Kimberly, thank you. That's very nice of you, sweetheart. Thank you. We used to do a pool at work too. We used to buy a bunch of them when it was gonna be, like, a big drawing, and we all used to put in for it. So we would, like, say that we'd, like, split it. That's always a good way to do it, you know what I mean? Have a bunch of people go in on it together. I wanna know what you're cooking, Mr. Tim. We got lots of love over here, honeybees. Always lots of love over here, you know that. Oh, Diane, you're so sweet, thank you. I would share too, absolutely. Oh my god, it took you 2 hours? You gotta ask somebody if they have triple you don't have AAA, you gotta ask somebody if they have AAA. Although you probably would wait because it's like a non-emergency, you're, like, in a safe place. Probably would take you, like, at least an hour or 2 to get a tow truck, so or somebody to come out and help you. Valdez, hello. Just let me get to the chat here. How's everybody doing? Mr. Tim, I wanna know what you're gonna be cooking. Oh, you make a plan. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yep, see? Anybody that buys, like, tickets, even if you don't buy them all the time, we all have our places that we go to. Like, I've got to maybe I should go to, like, a couple different places and buy them at a couple different places since I gotta go back out to the store tomorrow. Actually, you guys, this is funny. We were talking about this the other day. Like, even if I gotta get up early, like, I always set my alarm so I make sure I'm up, like, when I gotta take the kids to school. I actually set my alarm for tomorrow morning because I'm like, I wanna get to the store early because I don't wanna be dealing with people tomorrow. I wanna get there and get home and get rocking and rolling. Start crossing fingers. Yeah, I know. I know. I want to know what Mr. Tim's cooking too. Mr. Tim. Ooh. You make him. Oh, Mr. Tim. I made that. Oh my gosh. Pierogies and halushki. I had that last week. Mm-hmm. Yep. Oh, it's right up my alley. Yep. I make my grandmother's recipe. I gotta put my glasses on now. I can't see. Hold on. Oh, honeybees. I'm going to talk about something, and then if you want, you can come on panel, or if anybody wants to come on panel, I'll open up the panel for anybody who wants to come up and say hi. That's why I came on StreamYard tonight. Um, yep. Polish. Yeah, Eastern European. Yep. Yep. Slovak food. That my grandmother made that stuff all the time. We get the homemade ones. Oh, my mother has the rest. Like she makes the dough sometimes. So, oh, you have. Oh my gosh, that's even the worst. You have AAA, but your phone was locked inside. You should have gone back into work and said, "Come." Well, Diane, maybe you should buy one this time. Maybe you'll get lucky because we're all talking about it. Let's all like manifest wealth through the lottery. You can't win if you don't play. No, I know. No, I think you spelled it right. I know what you mean. Yeah, I speak like very, very minimal Slovak. Very minimal. All right, cool. Awesome, honeybees. Fantastic. So now you know what I'm gonna do? Yes, Diane. I'm thinking that we all need to manifest this gold bars in front of us, right? We need to picture that and we're gonna all win the Powerball. What if we all won? What if how amazing would that be if we all got a little piece of the piece of the pie? You don't even have to hit the jackpot. Shit, if I won $100, they'd be like, "Yay! We want to get ice cream," because you probably need $100 now to go get ice cream out with the kids. Let me see here, honeybees. You know what? I'm gonna drop it real quick, actually, because I think this is a good thing that you're here. Because I would like your input on this, if you do not mind. Hold on here, honeybees. Here we go. See, this is what we do. Impromptu. Yep. Amen. We're gonna just pray for it. One of my sons went to church today with his aunt and uncle and cousins for Good Friday service. I actually skipped guitar well, not skipped, but he called his guitar teacher because he takes guitar lessons. And because I said to him, "Did you go to guitar?" And he says, "I know." And I said, "Wait a minute, you were supposed to go." And he goes, "No, I called my teacher and said, asked if I could go to Good Friday service instead." I was like, "What? Good for you." That was fantastic. I was so proud of him. I was like, "Wow." And he was spending the day with his cousins and his aunt and uncle, and um, all the kids are doing sleepovers with the grandparents and stuff like that tonight. So it's just me and the dogs and Mr. Infinity here tonight. So you get to share my earlier part of my evening with me. Aren't you guys lucky? Anyways, I dropped it if you whenever you get a second. You were born in the Czech part? Is that what you meant? Really? Very interesting, Mr. Tim. Very interesting. I want to talk to you more about that. That's awesome. My great grandfather immigrated here from Czechoslovakia because it was at the time Czechoslovakia. And he was maybe 15 years old. And he came all on his own to the US. He left his entire family in Czechoslovakia. And he came with, I think, $10 in his pocket and a violin. And he came here with the American dream, you know? Yep, that's what it was. Hi, Jennifer. How you doing? Welcome. Thanks for coming in. Hey, Quick Vic twin, what's going on? How are ya? All right, hold on one second. Ooh. Hello, honeybees.
Hey, beautiful.
How
How are
are
you?
you?
I'm great.
Thanks for coming up. This is actually
Of
perfect.
course.
This is
Oh, okay. Good.
this is perfect. Now I'm just getting started here. What's good, twin? Quick Vic is Quick Vic. He has twins, and I have two sets of twins. So we are,
Right.
and he's originally from my area too. So how funny is that?
Yeah.
It's so funny. Small
Yeah,
world.
that's my brother right there.
Yes,
Me and Quick are brother and sister,
I
right?
I've
Yeah.
known I've known him for a hot second and then some.
Yeah.
From other communities, other communities.
Yeah.
You know, that my notification. Well, I the other night I had seen that you were going to be going live on your other channel, and
Mhm.
um, I had set like I had hit like notify me, and it never came through. And I was
I
like,
didn't even get your notification for tonight. Andy mom told me about it and
well, I
shared your
literally
link.
set it probably like 10 or 15 minutes like before I came. You know what I mean? So
Oh, okay. Okay.
that might be why. That might be why. Hey,
Okay.
Honda,
Hey,
how are
Honda.
how are you? Um, Yes, he did. He came to the Mr. Tim and I are talking about how he came from the Czech part of what was Czechoslovakia when he was 12, and I was saying that his
Wow.
great grandfather immigrated from what it was Czechoslovakia as one country. Um,
Mhm.
Mr. Tim, I've been watching this documentary on Netflix, and it's about the Cold War, but it also talks a lot about like all of those countries, like like you've got like the when USS when it was USSR, all this stuff. It's actually really super interesting. Like I could never follow history when I was younger. Was boring to me. Like it was all like your tests were
Mm.
all remembering dates
Mhm.
and shit like that. And it just wasn't. But like I say to my mom, I go, if they taught it like this, like where they really are showing you like footage and lot like an account,
Right.
it's just so fascinating to me. So like in my older age, I watch a lot of that stuff and I find it to be so fascinating. But
Yeah.
yeah, no, yeah, Ellis Island, exactly. That's where yep. Some other relatives came from Hungary, other relatives came from England, other people came from Italy. So a little bit of everything all over the place. He came on an airplane. You didn't come in a boat. You didn't come in a boat. You came on. Oh my god. And how are you, my sweetheart? How are you? I miss you. I miss you.
Amabelle is in the house, Cindy.
What's that?
Our beautiful Bama is in the
Oh,
house.
where is she? Hang on. I'm going through the chat. I'm oh, are you leaving, Kimberly? Love you, sweetheart. Thanks for coming back in.
Bye, Kimberly.
I went live earlier today. I was at the I did a little live grocery shop. I could
That's what I
not.
heard you say.
Oh
I
my
don't
god,
know
I
that
was,
I
like,
could do
so
that.
ADD, I could not I'm, like, trying to follow the chat, not trying to bump into people, and it's the Italian market, and everybody talks with their hands, and they're like, and I'm like, "Oh my god," I'm like, I'm very overstimulated right now. Like, I need to get the freak out of here. You know how that goes.
Uh
Oh my
huh.
god. Hi, Bama. Oh my gosh. Okay, now she's gone. You can stay, Kimberly. You can do whatever you wanna do. You can go. You're so cute. Oh my gosh. So, let me just finish going through the chat here, seeing everybody. Honda, if you want to drop anybody's link, when and if you have a second, you are more than welcome to. What kind of pierogies do I like? I like the potato ones, like the potato and cheese. And I'm talking, yeah, the homemade ones that like my grandmother would make or that my mom makes. But and then we have these other ones that are filled with it's called lekvar. So it's like it's sweet. It's almost like mashed up prune. And it's
Mm.
it pairs very well with the cheese and potato ones. Um and then like on Christmas, like on Russian Christmas, my mother makes she makes like the wheat, like the mixed with like the honey, and she chills it, serves it cold. Lots of sauerkraut. Always, but we always do the sauerkraut
Mm.
as opposed to
Love
potatoes.
sauerkraut.
Love sauerkraut. Love it. Lots of
Mhm.
garlic. Lots of garlic.
Yes.
I'm gonna make you guys really hungry. See, now here's Bama. Right, you just can't leave because we're just irresistible over here.
That's right.
Irresistible infinities over here. That's what we are. Um, yeah, they're all exactly. Yep, they're all the same. My grandmother used to make this dish called babalki, and no one else makes it since she passed, and no one else in the family, I don't think, really makes it. But I got to find out. They're like little dough balls, and they roll them around in the poppy seeds, and they bake them like that. And they're so good. Except the poppy seeds all get stuck in your teeth, but they're so good. Yeah, those are good. You like ribs and sauerkraut? Yeah, everything was. I love a good hot dog, like almost like burnt on the grill with mustard and sauerkraut. That's a good time too, Diane. Yep.
Yes, ma'am.
I like. We like cabbage is just good. My kids like cabbage. I like stuffed cabbage. Thank you, Victor. I appreciate it. Thank you, sweetheart. Um. Yeah. So I'm not gonna talk about food. I gotta go back to the store again tomorrow because I didn't get everything. It's like things are written on my list, and I was looking for stuff today, and it was just there was a lot of people there. I was like, you know what? I'm gonna get up early in the morning. I set my alarm. This way, I'm out the door, and I can just go and do what I got to do. So, um, so you're getting ready for Easter? You doing anything?
We're just gonna do a ham, sweet potatoes, and asparagus. It's just us three.
Oh, nice. Very nice.
Yeah. So.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Very nice. Yeah, we've got. How many people do I have coming? Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. There's gonna be 12 of us total. So not too bad.
Oh wow.
Yeah, that's not too bad. Well, it's Sunday dinner at my house. Just if no one comes, it's 6 people. Anybody else, if we just invite like the parents, it's like 8 or 10. So that's no big deal. So we have a couple family members visiting from out of town this year, so that's nice. So yeah, she does the Christmas Eve dinner, Mr. Tim. Yep, the traditional Christmas Eve dinner. Yep.
That's awesome.
I know. We're gonna do some cooking tomorrow, Jennifer. We're gonna
Mm-hmm.
make stuffed shells, and we're gonna make some, and we're gonna prep the homemade mac and cheese. So if you guys want to come watch tomorrow, I'll probably be going live and doing that. Probably, I don't know, probably like around noon, somewhere around there tomorrow.
That'll be fun, Cindy.
Yeah. So if anybody wants to come and watch, I know, Mr. Tim. My mother says the same thing. The dough is what's a pain in the ass. Yep. Oh, good. You can send me some, Mr. Tim. I want to try your wife's. you can put them in a freeze dry package.
Mm-hmm.
That's right. So my live stream is titled. What did I title it? No. Using strong, powerful words out of context can be very dangerous. What do you think about that?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, let's discuss maybe the word exploit.
Thank you. Thank you. It's funny that you say that. It's like you're reading my mind right now, honeybees, because I have pulled up here. Just put my glasses on. So now we have studious Cindy coming in. I pulled up the definition of child exploitation.
Good. I was going to do that myself.
Oh,
And
good. Yep.
yep, you're ahead of me,
I
girlfriend.
got you right. I got you right here. Okay. So the definition right here, according to safeguardingnetwork.com, says child exploitation. Children and young people can be exploited in many ways, including being trafficked, sexually exploited, and used to run drugs. I guess I can say. I don't know. I'm not monetized, so I guess I can say these words. I don't think it makes.
Yeah, you can.
Okay, all right. I just want to make sure. All of these come under the banner of child exploitation.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Kinda. What are those bunnies? Bunnies. I gotta make sure I don't get too ADD, and I gotta pay attention to the chat too. Hi,
Hey,
Stephanie. How are
Stephanie.
you? Welcome. Cindy's trying not to get too off track here. I swear. Okay. So Understanding of child exploitation and the scale of the problem is still limited. What we do know is that there is a need for agencies to work together to understand bigger picture, using tools such as contextual safeguarding alongside an understanding of the different ways in which children and young people may be exploited. Okay. All right. Now, using that word out of context is extremely dangerous for a lot of reasons.
Yeah.
Okay. Um Number one, hey Court. Hi baby.
Hey, Courtney.
How's your job going, Court? Oh my gosh, how are you? I was gonna come into your live the other night and then my I was trying to get on my phone and my internet was all funny the other night. And it kept it wasn't you, it was my phone on my end. And I think by the time I restarted it and got everything going again, I think you were done. So
Don't you
hello.
hate when that shit
Oh,
happens?
I was trying to do it. Was it last night? Yes, because the UConn game was on, and all of my girlfriends, like we all went to UConn together years ago, and all of my girlfriends, we all text each other. We have a group of there's like 7 of us, and
Uh huh.
we've all stayed very very good friends over the years, and we all lived when we were there with the basketball players. This is total side note, but anyway, so when the game was on last night, everyone was texting back and forth we were gonna we were going to try to meet up. And we're like, oh my gosh, remember the days of going to the bar and watching the game out? And everyone's like, text a picture of where you're watching the game. I kid you not. 6 out of the 7 pictures were us in our living rooms in front of our fireplaces, laying on the
Oh,
couch.
that's so
We're like,
funny.
oh my God.
We're old.
Oh my God. My other girlfriend was out at a restaurant bar because next door is where her daughter dances, and so she was at dance class, and so she's like, well, I came here while she's at dance class. I was like, oh my God, that's smart. It wasn't even because she was like trying to be out or anything. It was so funny. Anyway,
That's
yeah, I
hilarious.
know. My house is always like very low lit, like especially I like a lot of light, but like low lit,
Yeah, yeah.
everybody else's houses were so bright. I'm like, what do you guys have, like last call going on in your living rooms right now? Like, what is going on? And they're like, no, they're like, if I turn the lights down, I'll fall asleep. I'm like, yeah, true story.
That's so
But my internet was
funny.
getting funny that night too. And we were having trouble streaming the game. So, anyways, that was the whole purpose of that story. Anyways, oh good, oh good. Oh good, honey. I'm so glad. I'm so glad. Wait, you have an alter ego, Stephanie? Tatiana? Oh, I worked with a girl, Tatiana, at one time. Yeah.
Oh, well, Tatiana, I saw
Mm,
you tonight. I
Tatiana.
just
Are you
saw
like
you,
are you like
Tatiana.
Crystal? Crystal has an alter ego, right? She's got another alter ego, right? I don't go to I try to see her sometimes, but
I
anyways.
saw Tatiana tonight.
Oh my goodness.
And I also have someone who has an alter ego in my chat,
Oh no, wait, what? What?
but it's for different reasons.
Oh,
I
of
know
course.
her.
For the
Yeah,
for the DRO.
yeah, but yeah, I met Tatiana. Well, I didn't meet one. I saw one tonight in a
Oh,
chat.
so instead of saying sock accounts, we just say alter egos. That's pretty cool. Yeah, I'm kidding. That's what we can call them now. Our alter
That's
egos.
exactly
Yeah,
right.
hi Trumps. How are you? I like that. I like that.
Hey,
Hey Thursday.
Thursday.
Welcome. How are you? Oh
Oh,
yeah,
well,
Mr. Kim. I
Stephanie
would
says
love the
she's
recipe.
kidding.
I
She
know.
says she's kidding.
She's not kidding. She's got a Tatiana. She's got to have an accent and everything, right? She says she's totally kidding. No, now you got to make a Tatiana account. That's fantastic. Oh my gosh. Yes, Mr. Tim. I was just saying earlier today that I'm gonna revamp my whole I'm about section, and I'm gonna start a different email so this way I don't get everything confused because my other email just gets bombarded with everything else between the kids' school stuff, my work stuff, and everything else in between. I'm gonna create a new email just for YouTube. So I'm gonna put that up I'm gonna get that going in the next couple days. So yes, I would love the recipe. Yes. Okay. Okay. Fantastic. All right. Honeybees, if I miss anybody, please just let me know.
Oh, sure. I'll let
And
you
you guys,
know.
if I miss you, please, I'm not ignoring you. Just say hello again. I'm trying to go. I think my chat is, I'm a little behind on the StreamYard on my computer, but everything seems to be good. None of the kids are here right now, so no one else is like like gaming or anything like that right
Right.
now. That always bogs down my internet like at nighttime like this. That's why I go on later because they're all finally sleeping, but they're sleeping out tonight. So, anyways. Cool. I was gonna text you and tell you I'm really proud of you. That's good. That's awesome that you're getting things going with work. That's just so awesome. You look so happy, and
Yeah.
there's just such a calm. I notice a calmness about you,
Yeah.
and just and you're very proud, and I'm proud of you. So I want you to know that. I think that it's awesome. I
Same
think
here.
I could just
Same
tell.
here.
You know what I mean? She's always very bubbly, always very welcoming. But I could feel it. Like I could sense that.
Yeah.
So I think that's awesome.
Yeah.
She goes, I was just wondering if anyone saw me in another chat. Oh my gosh. That's great. Oh,
Yes.
oh my god.
I did, Stephanie. Sorry.
Oh my goodness. Oh, Bama. So here we go. Bama.
Oh, goodness,
You hear
girl.
my okay, so here we go. We're gonna get back to the definition.
Yeah. Yeah, because I've got a definition pulled up too.
Okay. Now here's the other thing. Ready? So there's different areas of child exploitation, right? But it can take on a number of different forms, right? But
Yep.
here's the thing. So they have like, and I'm just going to go through this real quick. I'm not going to bore you guys too much. They have child criminal exploitation, and that's
Hmm.
when, basically, to paraphrase it, it's like when an individual or group takes advantage of an imbalance in power to coerce, manipulate, or deceive a child into taking part in criminal activity. Okay,
Right. Right.
they have sexual exploitation. Uh,
Hmm.
no need to go into any details on that.
Exactly.
You guys know what that's all about. They have here county lines. County lines are illegal drug dealing networks between large urban centers, small towns, and rural locations. Children and young people are coerced using intimidation, blackmail, and violence to transport and sell drugs, cash, and weapons across the country via dedicated mobile phone lines, which may be referred to as quote deal lines. Okay.
Hmm.
They have trafficking. We know a lot about that. Okay.
Right.
They have a category here that's called modern slavery. And that's regardless of your age, your gender, your race, any of that. It's okay. Here we go now. Ready? This is the one I wanted to get to here because this is why I like this one. Child financial exploitation.
Hmm.
Okay. There is evidence to suggest that teenagers are being targeted by criminals intending to use the teenagers' bank accounts to launder money, and in return, they get to keep some of the money themselves. Okay. By us suggesting the other night to Bama that we want to get a GoFundMe going for her, okay?
Hmm.
And we have talked about this before, but and there's a lot of apprehension in general, I think, when it comes to stuff like that, because right away you're putting yourself out there that you're in need. So right away people know that you're in a vulnerable state, right? Like it's just without saying, you know what I'm saying? And people take advantage of people that are especially in vulnerable type situations, okay?
Hmm.
You always want to make sure that you're safe on the internet, like in terms of like your name,
Hmm.
your privacy, especially when you're going through something like that, because there are very bad people out there that can really hurt somebody or can make you think that they're trying to help you, but they're really not, because there's some real sickos out there. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm not speaking about anybody. I'm just speaking about in general. Okay.
Yeah.
So she obviously is like nervous because she's like, well, I want to make sure that like if I do this, like I don't have to put my name out there. Obviously, because she wants to protect herself and her daughter. Okay.
Yeah.
And there's nothing wrong. The reason that GoFundMe exists is for purposes of this nature. When you're going through a tough time medically, because so many times, insurance doesn't cover everything, you know. Um It's certainly not covering loss of employment because you have to be there for your child and all those things, right?
Exactly.
Insurance isn't paying, your mortgage, your car bill,
Exactly.
all of the necessary expenses on top of everything else. So anyways, you know what I'm saying.
Yes.
Okay.
Hmm.
So guys, just bear with me one second here. So okay. So yes, Bama. So do you want to add anything to that definition before we go into the nuts and bolts of
Um,
this?
Yeah, I'll just say this. It says here, what does it mean to exploit someone? And she says we're exploiting a child.
Yeah, by us creating a GoFundMe,
Yeah.
SG says that we are exploiting Bam.
Okay, well, it says here to treat someone unfairly in order to make money or get an advantage.
Right. It's criminal.
Well, we're not treating anyone unfairly. Cancer is the unfair thing. And if this woman wasn't such whatever is wrong with her, she would worry about her own shit and her own finances versus someone else's. Let me tell you something. Not everybody who sets up a GoFundMe ha, do, like is poor.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? There's people that set up GoFundMes that have money, but they still have things. I know two parents right now who just lost their son. He was in the hospital the whole year.
Oh my gosh.
The whole year he was born. He
Mhm.
stayed in the hospital the whole
Oh, he was a
time, and they had to
baby. Oh
live.
my god. Oh my god.
Yes, by the
Oh.
time he was born, he had to live through 15 months. He just passed away.
Mhm.
They had 15 months of being with their child.
Right.
Who cares if they set up a GoFundMe?
Right. No problem, Diane. No problem. Thanks for coming in. Anytime, honey. Anytime.
Thank
Exactly.
you,
Who
Diane.
cares? Who cares? Listen,
We're not exploiting a child, God forbid.
that's a dangerous word to use because
Yes,
that's
it
very
is.
so it's a buzzword that's very accusatory and it could really hurt somebody
Yeah, yeah,
because of that kind of an accusation or statement being made. You know what I'm saying?
yeah. I mean, she's
Um,
just
well, it's not used. It's not being used in the proper context, and it's a very
no.
strong word. And so, for children also that are out there that have gone through some of these horrific things because it happens in our backyard. It just doesn't happen overseas. Like it's happening more and more and more. Like especially with the human
Yes.
trafficking. Okay,
Have you
that's
seen the
that's
sounds of
putting
freedom?
somebody down that's been through that.
Yeah,
It's like
yes,
lessening, like, what they it's not giving credence to what they've gone through. You know what I'm saying?
exactly,
Like,
Cindy.
it doesn't yeah. You know what I'm
Yeah,
trying to say? Okay,
yes, I do. I do
okay,
understand. Have
okay.
you seen the movie Sound of Freedom?
Yep, I did. I sure did.
Okay.
I
Well,
sure
if
did.
you've seen that
Yep,
movie, that is exploitation of children.
correct, correct.
Okay.
Yep,
I mean, let's put it out on the table what it is.
mhm.
Like you said, this woman is using that word in a she she's putting her own definition to the word.
Well,
You could twist it all you want,
it's not correct.
but it doesn't measure up to
Right.
this exploitation.
It doesn't
Oh
first of all,
no.
us wanting to help her and her daughter, you know, there's nothing wrong with that. Just like if she
No.
wanted to put something back up herself, there's nothing wrong with that either, That's your own business, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, and no one was saying that she was exploiting herself when she had one or her daughter was exploiting her when she had one up at one time or another. I understand that she says supposedly I wasn't around at that time. It got taken down because people were getting harassed. Well, I don't know why, but I mean,
I,
I don't know. I don't know the whole story. This
I
is
don't
what
either. And I don't
right?
really care at
No,
this
and here's
point.
the thing, I don't and you got money from it, and if you wanna put another one back up, then put another one back
That's
up.
on you. Yeah.
I mean, no
Nobody
one
can
I
stop
don't make
you.
fun of I've always said this, I never ever judge somebody or question whatever they're going through medically. I have never questioned that,
No.
okay?
No.
Never. Especially because of having gone through something my own self, I would
Mm-hmm.
never question something of somebody, and I would never ask for proof. I would believe them until there's a reason for me not to believe them, okay? Um,
Right.
Now, just because I might not support you because of how you behave doesn't mean that I don't believe that you're going through something. It just means I'm
Exactly.
not
Thank
supporting the
you.
whole thing because, first of all, we can only be spread so thin, right? So,
Yeah.
and I put on a community post, you have your people that will support you. Bama has her people that will, like, when I say her people, like she has her friends on here that will help to support her and Gracie. Like, be happy for what you have, And
Yes,
the
and be
person
happy for what
being
this child is getting. Who could? Mm,
there. Yep. Mhm.
I'll just say this: I have a psychiatrist and a psychologist. My counselor, she knows everything about my life, including
Mhm.
my YouTube life,
Right.
my 2 channels, and everything. And she also knows about Bama Bell and Gracie because that is a
Mhm.
big part of my counseling sessions.
Right.
Um, so
I understand.
she knows about my YouTubes. She
Mhm.
has visited my YouTube. She knows my character on YouTube.
Mhm.
And she cannot believe how anyone could act like that. When I was telling her and I told her, I said, you can just go check her out yourself, what she's going to do. And, someone told me the other day they got on to me because I was telling everybody I like dropped her link in my chat. And everybody's like, why are you dropping her link in her chat? Oh my God, people are going to go subscribe. I said, I just started laughing. I said, I don't have to tell anybody what to do or not to do. The people in my chat, they'll know the character and they'll do what they need to
They will
do.
judge you by the content of your character, and you know what?
Right.
1,000%, 1,000%, you know?
And, if you had someone, coming after you, first of all, Tracy makes up shit in her head that isn't even true. People coming after her and harassing
Yep,
her.
correct.
What she'll do is take what's a joke, even that someone has said. We joke around all the time with each other, especially us girls.
Yeah.
And you can't take a little joke. I mean, put your big girl panties on,
Listen,
girlfriend.
I mean, for all of the things that are said, whether they're everybody's has an opinion, everybody says stuff, right? Like, and
Yeah.
it's even like, okay, let me read this here real quick because that brings me to
Okay.
another really
Okay.
good point. You just pop something in my head. All right, Bama says here. Now this is true. She says, I haven't done a GoFundMe because I don't want to have to ask for anything. I have made do the best that I could for almost 2 years, but I am struggling. I have lost everything. And Bama, we know that. And I'm glad that you
Yeah.
wrote that because we know that. Okay.
Yes, we know
And
that.
the reason you just want to double check and triple check everything is because you want to make sure your information is private. It is not just because you're afraid that she's going to go report it or she's going to find out
No.
your personal information. That may but that goes across the board for anybody out there because like I said,
Anybody.
there are some sickos out there that will
Yeah.
troll people when they are at their most vulnerable states. I don't understand why people work that way, but they do. Okay, there are just some
Yeah.
real sick people out there, and I think being on YouTube all these years, I've learned so much more about the
Hmm.
sickos on the internet and whatnot because not everybody is like you or I or like all of us here, correct? Well,
Right.
it doesn't have to do with SG. It's not like, oh, SG's gonna, I won't do a GoFundMe because SG's gonna find out my information. No. She's like, I would never
No.
do that. I would never do anything. Well, wait a minute. Hold on a second. Because the character that you're presenting is you were just gonna call St. Jude's not that long ago, and you put it out there in the YouTube world, and we all heard it. Okay. You were gonna
Right.
send a picture to St. I don't even know what that was gonna even do. Oh, great, we're getting a picture of I
Of a
mean,
child.
look, let me check to make sure. Does this patient go here? What? I mean,
Like they're really going to tell you
you
that.
go through things medically because obviously there's HIPAA. I mean, hello. Then you're gonna call. Then you threaten to call CPS because you know what? You better make sure when she said you better make sure that that child's really sick because I'm gonna make sure that CPS knows what's going on over there. Like these are all the threats that were made previously, and I didn't hear that wrong, did I? I didn't hear that wrong. I'm paraphrasing. Maybe it wasn't said exactly like that, but pretty similar to that. Correct?
Hmm.
Mhm. So why wouldn't she be fucking nervous? Because you're already trying to make her nervous in and of itself.
Well, it's emotional turmoil.
It is completely like it could be triggering for somebody. It's
Well, I'm
anxiety
just,
ridden. Like, why are you trying to do that? And then it's like, oh,
well, I'm just going to say this, Cindy.
God,
I had a doctor's appointment yesterday for my toothache, And on the way there, I was telling my husband about being up at 3 a.m. and how you just happened to be online and BB was up there and just how it all went down. And he's just looking at me, and I'm telling him, what's going on. Then I tell him about what I had just heard about exploiting
Mhm.
and I told him, I said, we started talking about when Paul, was there. And at the time, we didn't really know anything about GoFundMe. I can't even remember if GoFundMe was even back in
Yeah.
2008.
Maybe in its infancy stages, maybe. But it
Yeah,
was very new. It was if it was around, it was very new at the time.
yeah.
Mhm.
But let me tell you something. St. Jude receives you whether you have insurance or not. Okay. Whether you can pay or not. They
Right.
pay at that time. I got an $80 card for groceries a week. My husband would write down his mileage. He got paid for mileage. Okay. But
Wow.
every other thing had to be paid. I did not have a job,
Mhm.
obviously, because my job
Was to
was
take care.
take
Yeah,
care of my child.
of course. Hi, Amy.
This this one we lost. Nobody knows this, but we lost everything.
Oh my god. Oh,
Yeah,
it people don't understand. I'm so sorry that that even happened. But you were putting your everything into what your focus was,
well, sure.
which is what
My
any normal parent would do,
husband,
right? But people don't always talk about that because, first of all, it's
no.
very emotional. You went through a very, very, very
Well, that's what I
emotional.
was going to say. This has to be so fucked up and
Oh,
triggering for Bama. I mean, my husband and I sat and drove and cried and thought, oh my God, we can't imagine if, having this crap from
yes.
SD on top
Well,
of.
that's where, yes, and that's where I want her to not focus on that person. And the reason I'm doing this tonight is because I just want to bring it to people's attention because
Exactly.
I'm not trying to trash her, okay, let's put it that way. I'm trying to speak
No,
about what is truth, okay? There's a difference here.
right.
I get very
Mm-hmm.
angry, I get very in my feelings. I am very Bama and I have known each other for a while. I have spoken to
Mm-hmm.
Gracie on the phone. I will text her and check in with her, even if she doesn't text me back. I just want her to know that I'm thinking of them and all of
Yeah.
these other things. And I want her to focus on the positive and that she can
Mm-hmm.
lean on us and all these other things.
And you know
However,
what? That's the best thing, Cindy.
absolutely, absolutely. But I get upset, and the only time I've ever really spoken about certain things when it comes to SG is really when it comes to this whole situation because this has happened before. This happened a year ago when I went on and I was big mad about it because I'm like, don't do this to a child. Don't do this to a sick
Yeah.
child.
And
There
I
should be
didn't know
violence,
about it
should
a
be
year
jail,
ago. God.
and all these other things. Like, and I'm not trying. Like, we everybody goes through incredibly horrific emotional trauma when they are in the hospital. Okay,
Of course.
I almost when I had my twins and I went in and almost lost my life and I had to have open heart surgery and they didn't even know if I was going to make it out of the hospital in less than a year and all these other things. Like we had dual incomes coming in, but when I left work to go have my children, I
Right.
didn't get because I was working for a salon at the time. I was an employee, but we weren't like a big company, so I didn't get maternity leave. Whatever I saved while I was working up until the very end is what we had. Well, you go through that quickly. So,
Yeah.
we had to move out of our house. We had to, my ex-husband had to move out of the house with the kids while I was in the hospital. So we got our house sitting there. We have our animals. Now the
Um,
piling up because he can only do so much. I mean,
mhm.
when you're thinking you're going to have children and eventually you'll go back to work a little bit here and there, you're not thinking long term like you're going to go through a near death situation. So
Exactly.
we were in the same position. We were way behind on our mortgage at the time. There was all things that happened to us financially.
Mhm.
And GoFundMe, I think, was around at that time because someone had suggested to my husband at the time to create one, and he wouldn't do it because he was too fucking prideful, which is okay, but it would have helped
Mhm.
because when you start going into those kinds of debts, you just don't call them up and say, "Hey, can you put this on hold right now because my wife's in the hospital fighting for
My
her life."
wife's in the
No, you
hospital.
get your credit gets dinged, like everything. They're not thinking like, "Oh, okay," you know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
That
Mhm.
adds that compounds with the stress, but not everybody talks about it.
That's right.
They just kind of go through it.
And you know
They
what,
just and so
Cindy? It tears up so many marriages. My
it's
gosh.
all
But
well,
I
look at me.
can't imagine being
Funny.
single and having to do it all on my own.
Mhm. Yep.
Now, I did do it on my own Monday through Friday, but my
Yeah.
husband would drive 5 hours to Memphis every Friday and leave every Monday. He only came on the weekends, so I didn't have a car during the week. I rode the shuttle bus
Jesus.
with Paul.
Oh,
You do what you have to do.
you do whatever you have to do, and you make it work for whatever the situation is,
Yes.
and you and yes, we can all get listen, we all can get down about things at one time or another because it is scary, it is daunting,
Hmm.
there is a lot of unknown factors, okay? But surrounding yourself, if you don't have a strong support system with your family or good friends with you by you, but like this is a
Hmm.
community that can do that, and that's what
Yes.
I love about us that want it. We can do whatever we want, and we're never going to get mad about somebody if they can't or if they don't. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
I would never
Yeah.
question anybody, no matter how many people want there's like I was saying the other night, there are so many things that we can all do independently to add to this collaborative effort, whether it's
Exactly.
helping her set up the GoFundMe, maybe setting up things
Hmm.
for meals. Somebody can donate money. Like not everybody has a lot of money to donate, but there are people that do. So we have some people that can
You
donate money.
never
There's some
know. You
people
may have someone in your chat that's close enough to be able to go and take them to dinner or take them to
exactly
a movie
correct.
or just go spend the day with them to just
Right.
give them something
Lighten the
different to
load a little
look
bit.
at.
Yep,
Yeah.
exactly. Yep. Putting them on a prayer prayers are a big thing, and not
Yes.
everybody's religious, but I'm gonna tell you, the power of prayer is amazing,
The
and
power of
so
prayer.
I gotta
Yes.
I'm gonna have a conversation with my godmother, and I'm gonna get, her and Gracie on a, it's a worldwide prayer list, and so it goes all
Okay.
around the world, basically, and it starts with, and that's that listen, it doesn't hurt. It can only help, okay?
That's exactly right.
And not for nothing, I mean, I would put SG on there too. Like, I'll tell her to put her on there. I'll be like, "Yo, put this woman named SG and put
Mhm.
Bama and Gracie, put Valdez." I will put anybody who wants to be on that
Mhm.
prayer list. They can just say, "Hey, Sin, can you get me on that list?" And that's all they have to say. And I will make a phone call and I will get them on the list because you know what? That's what I would do. I would never not say to somebody, "You're not deserving." You know what I mean? Like I've never said that.
Exactly, Cindy.
Never, ever,
Exactly.
ever said that. Maybe she has, which is really what gets me. It's like, why do you think someone's not, or why do you act like someone that's not? I'm sorry, guys, I'm
Why?
not following the chat here real quick. Like she
Yeah,
blackmailed you
why?
yesterday, Grandma. I want to know what did she did she? Oh my gosh. Okay, right. And well, that's the other thing. So every time she says something, it's like, I have no problem with Gracie and Bama receiving help. But I'm sitting here with stage 4 cancer too. Why doesn't someone want to help me? That's what it's followed up with. It's like, but people do care about you. And I'm sure people are helping you. Like it's like I don't I have a real hard time, and forgive me if this comes out wrong. I have a hard time with the fucking woe is me shit all the time.
I have a very hard time with it because my son fought the first time and he fought the second time and he never had a woe is me attitude. Never.
Right.
Never once did he say, "Why me, mom?"
Oh, look at Valdez has a good point. So many other things to be helpful, even if folks donate blood to help someone. That's a good point,
Thank you,
Valdez. That's a
Valdez.
great.
Yes.
That's a great,
Let
amazing
me.
point. See, and this is the other thing. Valdez went in there last night. She always says, "Oh, everybody watches me. They're so afraid to come in because they're going to get criticized and this and that." No,
Mhm.
what happens is people go in with the best intentions, and
Intentions.
Valdez went in there with such kindness, and look at how they got treated. That's why people don't wanna go in there.
Yeah.
The way
No,
the
I
way that it
mean,
was just
no matter what you say to
Even
her.
Chandra was trying to say, Valdez came in here nicely, like, was saying something along those lines, like, she was trying to get SG to see it, and she was basically, like, ended the live, which is the okay. And then I think she did some kind of I don't even know, some kind of an apology thing, but it was so again, it was so half-ass. It's like, well, you came in here and I always am on guard or something along those lines. It's like, you know what? That's why people don't want to go in and talk to you.
Oh, she was talking awful about me yesterday, Bama. Well, that's okay, honey. If I can take the brunt of her shit off of you, I will. I mean, it don't bother me, baby. It does not bother me, okay? You just need to know that I am strong enough to handle her bullshit,
Listen.
you know.
But here's the other thing. No one is okay, this is going to be the other point here too. Oh, Valdez says here, oh my gosh, I don't know anyone who would trade places with you or yeah, I know. I'm just gonna go through the chat here real quick. Let me just get caught up. Did I
Mm.
miss anybody? Anybody? If I missed you, I'm so like I'm gonna try to catch up here real quick. Sorry. Um, yeah, but here's the thing. She doesn't even have to help. She doesn't even have to help if she was a nice person, but she doesn't have to help them. She just has to not say anything. Like it's kind of one of those things. Like when I was a kid, my mother would say, "Honey, if you don't have anything nice to
If you
say,
don't
then
have,
don't say it at all." You know?
that's right.
I mean, I'm just saying. You know what I mean?
And I'm just going to say this again, SG, if you're listening, because you got pissed off the first time, and I really like pissing you off. Everything doesn't deserve a response. And you know what, lady? You don't deserve a response from any of us. That's
Yeah.
how much I care about it. And
Right.
as I say that, my son's wind chimes are chiming.
I hear them. Oh my gosh, I love Is it the one I've seen those where they say when the wind blows, think of me?
I actually, his name is actually engraved on these wind chimes. When we were
Oh,
at St. Jude, we lived at the Ronald McDonald house,
yep.
and Sherry is the manager of said Ronald McDonald house,
I'm
and
getting
she
chills.
sent those to
Oh my
us when my
god.
son passed.
You know what? He hears us talking right now.
I
That's him.
know he
Oh
does
my
this all the
god.
time.
Oh my god, that's fantastic. I freaking love it. I could hear them.
So I
Oh my
sit out
gosh.
here smoking my cigarette, and he
Oh,
sings to me.
I freaking
Uh,
Oh, I love that. That's
I'm
awesome.
yeah, isn't it awesome?
Oh,
I
that will
encourage all people who have lost a loved one to have wind chimes,
well there
because when the wind
yes.
blows,
Yes.
and
Well,
sometimes Cindy, the wind won't even be blowing,
but they
and
but they chime.
he'll start singing. Yes.
That's crazy. I love that. Oh my god, you just gave me such chills. Holy crap. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. There is you can get wind chimes, right? Because I did this for
Hmm.
when my in-laws had she had lost her mother, and I got wind chimes with her mother's name engraved on it, but there's a saying on there that says when the wind it rhymes, and I'm going to say it wrong, but it basically says
Hmm.
when the wind blows, please know that it's me, or please think of me, or please know that I'm near, or something along those lines. So
Right,
it's like
right.
along the same line, but it actually says it, so you can get them made for people when they lose a loved one like that, and they're
This
so
one
beautiful.
says, you know what? This one says something. Hold on, Cindy.
Oh,
Let me
maybe
read it.
oh,
Let me read it because it does have a saying on it. I got to go out in the
oh,
yard. Okay,
oh my
here,
gosh, I'm hearing
yes.
them.
When the wind blows, know that I'm near. In loving memory of Paul Thomas C., forever in our hearts,
Oh,
Ronald McDonald House of Memphis.
I love it. See, when the wind remember I said when near or something like
Yep,
that? I did a pretty good
gave me
job, didn't
chill bumps.
I? Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh.
My baby is with us. He's
That's
with
right.
me,
Hi, Paul. Let's all say hi to Paul.
and he's so sweet.
Mm-hmm.
And he's saying, bitch,
Yeah.
he would have had a fit. I'm just going to be honest. He
Oh,
would have
Valdez.
just,
That's awesome. Sorry, go ahead. Go ahead. Honeybees.
yes, babe, I'm here. I'm
Oh,
sorry.
oh
I'm
no,
reading the
I
chat.
wasn't sure if you were gonna say something. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to cut you off.
No,
No,
no, I was just reading the chat.
I'm reading it
Um,
too. Yeah, no, and you know what? Here's the thing. she doesn't need to really apologize, she just needs to stop doing what she's doing,
Yeah,
right? Like, we're only talking about it because and this
she's
is the
still
other
doing
thing.
it.
Well, because the behavior, like, you don't say we're exploiting your child, like, that is just so I was like, "Oh my god," I was so mad. Guys, by the way,
Oh,
if you weren't in our chat the other night, we're all doing hashtag Team Gracie at the end of our channel name, so if you guys wanna do that, we're just trying to create power of, like, the power of positivity, like, very forward thinking, very, like, all of us are
mhm,
very strong-minded people, so if everybody wants to add it to their, channel name at the end of their name, we're doing that, okay? So if
mhm.
so, I'm sure that, Bano doesn't mind.
Oh, Valdez, let me tell you, the Ronald McDonald House is not funded by Ronald McDonald's, okay? The restaurant,
Right.
it is funded by donations only,
Just like the hospital.
just like the hospital. And they have such a beautiful, I mean, they give you kitchens, refrigerators, they give you cabinets to put your food in.
Oh, the
The
Ronald
kitchen,
McDonald House does.
yeah, the Ronald McDonald House. I had five people were to us one stove. We
Oh, so
had
you
at
can go
least
in and do your own
7
cooking
kitchens.
like it's your own place.
Yes,
I gotcha,
yes, yes.
I gotcha.
Um, and you got your own cabinet. You can't keep any coffee pot in your room, any plants. You can keep some food, but no open food. They check your room, to make sure because you don't want roaches and bugs. You can't open any windows. Everything in there is air purified to suit
Yeah, because
cancer
of everybody getting
patients.
sick, right. Yep,
That's
mhm.
right.
Yep, yep.
And everyone that comes in, you can, I don't know how you do it, but I think you set it up obviously through the Ronald McDonald House to come
Mhm.
in and they cooks. People will come in
Really?
huge groups. Yes, and they will cook for the families
I'll cook for them. I
to
cook for
where
my
the families can just come down and eat. And it is really nice because they'll give you a monthly calendar and it shows you when and where everyone is going to be there and coming and what's being served.
Okay.
And that way it helps the parents because I can't tell you how many times we'd have long, long days of chemo.
Oh,
And
yes.
you come back and you're not feeling like cooking, but you've got to do something. And
Sure.
they would be there with food, and it would just be so nice. So I encourage people if you can do that, like Valdez was saying, they go in
Yeah. I
and
didn't know that
cook.
they do that. I don't know if I have any right in my area. I don't know. I don't think Connecticut has any of those, but I'm sure in the surrounding area, whether it's, Boston or New York or somewhere like that, they probably do.
Well, if you want to give to a
Mhm.
beautiful place, is Ronald McDonald House of Memphis,
Yes. Okay.
Tennessee. Just Google it and it will come up. And you can ship them toilet paper, all kinds of stuff.
Yeah.
They have rooms where you can go in and you can just take shampoo, toothpaste, you can get what you need.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, they
Oh,
have a
so, like,
whole
you can
full
just go in and grab it,
pantry.
like, it's like you shop for it, but it's already taken care of.
Yes.
I got you. I got you.
Yes.
Okay.
Mhm.
I got you. That's great. That's
Mhm.
fantastic. Um, Obama says here, Ronald McDonald in Memphis is great. Oh.
Yes, it is.
Zelda says it is so fun. See, now, and this is, you know what? I'm telling you, like the give back sometimes, whether you've been through something or not,
Mhm.
there's a lot of, there's a lot of, um, there's just a lot of pride and it makes you feel
Yes.
so good. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it does.
Um, and you could get on a cooking team if you don't have the money to donate. You could just still go volunteer your time one day or one night to just go and help,
Mhm.
even if you're rolling silverware or plasticware or doing
Mhm.
something, anything, you know what I
They
mean?
have college students come in and
Yeah.
they'll do crafts with all
Yep.
the kids
But
and
see, that's the
oh
thing.
man, it's just wonderful.
It's
Yeah.
getting out and getting in, not involved, but
Involved. Yeah.
like even just doing it one time, but like that's what can make you feel better. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? Like even today, like, finally, it's starting to get a little bit warmer, finally, it's not
Yeah,
pouring rain,
fine.
and it's not
Yeah.
disgusting, and I love to be outside, and I love the kids to be outside, and they're outside all the time, even when it's for 10 or 15 minutes to shoot hoops in the wintertime, you know? We go
Hey,
skiing,
Bama.
whatever, but I gotta
Um,
walk it today, and I was so happy, you know?
yeah. Valdez, I think Bama, they're inpatient. That means that Gracie is in the hospital. She
Mhm.
just not too long had surgery. Yeah.
Yeah,
So they're inpatient, but I can tell seems like she's lived there. I'm sure she
yeah.
has.
Yeah, back
Or
and forth.
she's lived
They've been
over at
I
the,
know she's been at home at some point, but the majority of the time has been back, I
yeah,
think, there. If and Bama, tell me if I'm speaking out of turn here, but, like, yeah, and she would always get nervous that she was gonna have to go back in, you know?
exactly. She just said we mainly stayed there when she went through radiation for a few
Mm,
months.
I
Yeah.
love oh, that's awesome, Valdez. At Christmas,
Let's
my
see,
daughter
we
does a
stayed
collection.
there for almost a year. Girl, you should have seen us moving out.
It's amazing the crap you accumulate, isn't it? It's like, "Oh my
Oh
god."
God, yes.
I
Yeah.
know, I
It's
know.
like a hotel room.
Yeah.
You got 2 beds, you got a TV, you
Yeah,
got a
but you
bathroom,
accumulate
sink.
stuff. It's like living in a house when you gotta move
Mhm.
out of a house. It's ridiculous.
Right.
Yes, Valdez, exactly. It teaches your children empathy. Yes, empathy
Mhm.
and compassion, and I think that
Yes.
and there's so many kids out there in today's day and age that don't get that, you know what I mean? Like, and I do
Yeah.
that with my kids all the time, like, I'm telling you, like, we're not we're not like drill sergeants, but like our parenting styles are very indicative of like when we were being raised by our parents, and our parents are in their 70s, you know what I mean? So they were more old school, you know. So we parent our children because we had them a little bit later in life. We didn't have them when we were super young, but like that's the way we parent. We want them to understand that like you need to say thank you. You need to like even if I call the kids from the bottom of the stairs, and I call them, you know, because the rooms are upstairs, and I'll say, "Hey boys," and they'll go, "What?" And I go, "Excuse me."
Excuse me?
I don't even let them answer me like that, and I won't even and they're yes, I go, "Okay,
Yeah,
thank
I'm
you."
the same way.
Little
You
things
don't
like
answer.
that would like
It's
I'm like,
ma'am.
yeah, yeah, they don't even have to say that. Oh gosh, they don't even have to say that. They could just say, "Yes, yes, mom," or
Yeah.
"Yes," you know, that's fine. Answer you know, be considerate, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Um, exactly, Stephanie, and you know what, Stephanie? Here's the thing. A lot of people have needs for one reason or another, okay? And I would never try to say, "Well, your situation looks worse than this person's," right? Everybody is in whatever situation they're in, and people have need, but you're right. I would never say, "Don't give to this person, give to this person." Like, no, you give where you want.
Mhm.
You can.
Yeah, you
Give
give where your
it's
heart
it's gonna
tells
be
you to
appreciated
give.
where your heart is exactly. And I would never say, "Don't do this," or "Don't do that," or "Don't do," you know, people can just do what they want. What I don't like
Right.
is when someone says, "Well, what about me? What about me? What about me?"
Right. Yes. Yeah. I mean, it just doesn't.
I don't think Gracie's sitting there going, "What about me?" I don't think, like you were saying about your son Paul, I don't think Paul was sitting there at one time saying, "What about me?" No.
No. No. No.
My great aunt used to say, "You get what you get and you say thank you." And she was like real strict about it. She used to say that all the time. You get what you she would do it in a joking fashion, but she goes, "You get what you get and you say thank you." And it was like, "Yeah, you do.
Mhm.
You get what you get and
Mhm.
you say thank you."
Yes. That is so true. I've never heard that before, but that is so true.
You get what you get and you say thank you.
I didn't know that, Amy.
What's that? Hang on. I gotta catch up here.
Mm.
Oh wow, Amy, I didn't know that. Oh, this one right here? This comment right here?
No.
Oh, hang on, hold on. I have to get caught up in the chat. I'm sorry, guys. What am I missing here?
Yeah, I'll see. I remember whenever Ronald McDonald House, Sherry came to me and she asked me to go speak at a function that was going to be raising money and to tell mine and Paul's story. Honey, there wasn't a dry eye
Um,
in that house. Do you? Oh, I don't know how much they got that day,
mm. Oh, Amy, yeah. Oh my
but I
gosh.
hope it was a lot.
Yes, Quick Vic, you're right. There are horrible
Yeah,
people
good.
that wanna bully people.
Is he okay now, Ozzy? Is your son good?
Yeah, that we're gonna go back to that. I vaguely remember Amy telling me that about her son a while back. I had completely forgotten. See, we've all been through stuff, but we're not on here whining and complaining about it.
Right, right. I'm not
You
still
take that
whining and
story.
complaining about my son dying. I could
No.
be. I could
You
be. Why me?
and you
Woe
would
is
never
me.
be wrong for feeling
You
being
know,
in your feelings at any point, and listen to me, you would never be wrong for being in your feelings at any certain point in time because you know what? That's I just because. I understand, and I understand
yeah,
yours, but you would never be wrong for that. You would never be wrong for that. And people can be sad or upset that they're not doing well themselves. That's okay too. That's totally okay. I'm not saying people shouldn't feel sad for themselves sometimes,
right,
you know?
right. But I don't, I don't share
I know.
my son's story or my story out of pity. I share it to show people that we've been through things, and
You
I
understand.
must, and I understand, and I can help people through their journey too, like Bama Bell. I mean, how many times is it in your life going to come across where you meet someone on YouTube that is going through the same thing that your child, not the same type of
Listen,
cancer,
absolutely. No,
but this is
you
a
can be a
God
good
thing.
you can be a good support for her because you actually
Exactly.
we all have sympathy, but you have empathy, and the difference between sympathy and empathy is that empathy is when you can emphasize like, you can relate because you've been through it before. It's a different level of
It's a different
compassion.
level.
Yeah. It's
Yes,
a
it
different
is
type of
because
passion.
I can feel when me and my husband were talking about it, it just brought up
Mhm.
it, from even in 2008, that's a long time, but
Mhm.
we had beautiful times there, but I can remember some lonely times too.
Absolutely. Oh my
And
god.
I don't want Bama
Daunting. Very
to be
daunting.
lonely, you
Mm-mm.
know.
Nope. Nope. Mm-mm.
That breaks my heart.
Yep. No, and she's no. This is what's amazing about like all of us, you know what I mean? Like this is not blowing smoke up somebody's ass. This is just coming together. And I love how we've all just kind of gravitated and come together. I would never be mad if somebody couldn't, like I said, couldn't be here, couldn't donate, but just sending well wishes is doing your
Yeah,
part in and of
yeah,
itself. And
exactly.
anything else is a blessing at the end of the day, you know?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't want you to get upset. Oh my gosh.
No, I'm not upset.
No.
It just brings back so
Oh, I
many
know. I
feelings.
know.
And I have
Which
talked to my counselor about it, and she asked me who was I going to lean on, while I'm doing this.
mhm.
And I told her my community,
Yeah.
my YouTube
Yeah.
community.
Absolutely.
Just
Absolutely.
like Bama. Look, this is how I see it. When you see people that you love going through something, you hold them up.
Correct.
You hold them up so they really don't have to touch their feet to the ground.
Mhm.
So they can just keep fighting with
They
their
can keep
child.
floating and not really worry about it. Exactly.
Yeah,
Yep.
and that's what she needs right now. You
Mhm.
know,
Yep.
so I'll lean on my friends
We
and
are all sending you air hugs and really
yes,
I hope you feel that, Bama. I really hope you do, you know.
I hope you do,
I mean,
baby
I've
girl.
oh my gosh. Oh, I know, Valdez. I know. I know. It's not natural for children. It's just not a natural thing. It's just not normal. I don't like
It's
it.
not.
It's where I get really flippin' angry. I can get so mad sometimes because listen, I would say all the time, put it on me. Don't put it on the child. Put it on me. Put it on me. I can handle
Mhm.
it. I can take it. I'm strong. I can take it. You know what I mean? Like, and it makes me so sad. But I also with my faith and where I really truly believe that I fucking hate to say things happen for a reason when it comes to that because I don't want to think that there's ever a reason, but there is a flip side to things when they do happen where it will come and you will be able to be so much stronger and
Yeah,
there's just something, and I don't know what it is. I really don't know because I never want to say that, oh, you're going to go through that because you'll find out someday, like why or whatever.
right. No.
'Cause that's not something you should ever have to go through, as far as I'm concerned, And when
No.
I at someday go through the pearly gates and I get to go to the big man, I'm going to say, this is not, it's the one thing I would ever say is you need to not make this happen for people anymore. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like, you need to not have this happen. Like, if I had one wish, it would be for children to never be suffering, you know?
Yeah.
It would be for children to never be suffering, you know? But unfortunately, it's just it's something that happens and we can't explain it, you know?
Yeah.
We really can't. But
No,
what
we
we
can't.
can do is we can live in the moment and be there to be supportive because I just know that the more strength she feels from us,
Hmm.
that's powerful. That's a powerful thing.
Yeah.
I think so.
It
I
can help you wake up with a pep in your step versus waking up and feeling like you can't go anymore.
Mhm. Yep. Yep. No, I
Yeah.
know. I know. Hey,
And
I'm gonna go
yeah,
grab a glass of water. You can you hold down the chat for me for 1 second?
sure,
All right,
sure.
I'll be right back. Sorry, guys. I gotta go get some water. Now, like
That's okay.
my mouth is all dry. I can't. Okay, hold on.
Yeah, yeah, Amy. It's good when people use their stories because it's their testimony and you bring honor to their name and you're making them live again in that moment. You're making their name live again. That's why I talk about my son. That's why I talk about our um, journey and what we went through. And I talk about, you know, my mother died from lung cancer, and I took care of her. My dad just recently passed away. April 13th will be a year. Um, I've been through a lot of loss, so therefore I can, help a lot of people, I believe. Yeah, it can make a real big difference. That's the key. Morals. Morals, Stephanie. Hmm. Exactly, honeybee. Your sister's name going. Yeah. What happened to your sister, honey? We need to share like numbers behind the scenes and stuff. Email. I'd like to know more about you girls. We always want to keep our loved ones alive. I had a brother that's passed away. I miss him dearly. So, what's up, Quick Vic? Quick Vic is in the house. So, Valdez, do you have my channel? Have you subscribed to my channel, Valdez? I have a Honeybee's Homestead where I talk about different things, and then I have a Buzzing About Crime where I go after uh, drones or eagles. Talk about his grifting. Let's see, Court. I lost my brother too. I lost mine too, Aussie. Okay, Crazy Court. I lost my mom in 2017 to lung cancer. You lost both your parents to the C word. Oh, your sister passed of liver failure at 29? Oh my goodness, honey. That's what in the world? Oh, you lost your mom last March, Stephanie? My condolences, all of you. My condolences, hugs, kisses. Okay, Valdez, I was just wondering. I didn't know if I need to drop links or something.
Okay, I'm back. Did you miss me?
Of course.
Sorry, I had to get water and do the necessaries, you know? Figured I
That's
might as well while I'm up. I'm like, oh, I drink so much
right.
water. I drink so
Yeah.
much water. Oh my gosh. All right, here we go. Hang on.
You can't even say the word. That's right, Stephanie. Some people can't because it's a daunting word,
Oh,
isn't it?
oh, the C word. Not the other C word, but the well, they're both bad C words, but I know what you mean.
Is that what she says, Bama?
Oh,
Well,
hang on. Oh, court. Oh, do we need hang on, honeybees. You know what? Honeybees, do me a favor.
yeah.
Type type in the chat so I can mod you so you can drop your other link to the crime channel. Cause
Oh, hold on just a second. Let me come
yeah.
in on my computer.
Yeah.
I'm
Because
actually
if you guys don't
sitting.
know, Honeybees has two different channels. And I've known Honeybees for years. I mean, and it's funny because I always tell her I'm trolling you because I always I listen. So sometimes you just don't you want to chat, but you don't want to miss
Yeah,
anybody. And I'm like, I
yeah.
don't want anybody to think I'm being rude, but I always listen. I'm always in the bushes. Like I'm one of those people. And she knows that. She knows that. It's so funny. I'm like, I'm always in the bushes.
Let me come in. Is there a mod in the room?
Oh,
Bama
And Honda. Yeah, Bama and
and
Honda.
Honda. Okay, let me come in under honeybees and then I'll come in under buzzing and they could just grab the
Oh,
links.
okay. I was gonna say, okay, all right.
I'll just say hey.
Yeah, Victor, I'm creating a new email.
Oh, Honda Mommy's got buzzing about crime.
Look at her. She's on top of this shit, man. I'm telling
She's
you.
on
Talk
top
about
of
somebody in the
it.
bushes, man. You better watch out. She's a slick motherfucker. Let me tell you. Oh my gosh. She like
I
swoops
love
in.
Honda. She's the one who introduced me to diamond art. Yes, she did. And I think she's one of the first ones who ever sent me a cash app
Who's that?
to buy me a diamond art. Honda Mommy.
Oh, Honda
Yeah.
Mommy. Good for
Yes.
you. Look
So
at you, girl.
she started my journey
With
of
your
diamond art.
obsessions.
Yes.
Um,
It's a
oh.
good thing that you don't have to answer to anybody, Bama, except for God. And
And you don't
SG
have to.
is not
That's
God.
right. That's right. Listen, we really only have to we only have to answer. I can't even talk. To one person, you know. I
That's
used
it.
I used to say I'd have to answer to two people. My father when I was younger and
Yeah.
God. That's about it. That's it. My father and God.
Now,
Victor.
my honeybee's homestead, I talk a lot about grief, depression, mental illness, the homestead, my family, my son who's going through recovery, being away from your grandchildren, um, things of this nature. Now, my buzzing about crime channel is about crime. I go after a specific guy right now. His name is
We can
Jones
say his
R.
name. You
Eagles.
can say
He's a
his name.
grifter.
You could say his name. Jones or Eagles.
Yeah, that's what I
You can
said.
say his
Jones R.
name.
Eagles.
Yeah. She's
And
like a
he's a
narc.
grifter.
She's like how I used to do when I'd have to find out what was going on with my ex-husband.
And honey, let me tell you, there's a different side of me that
Mhm.
comes out.
That's why I love you because yes, exactly. We all have an alter ego, but that's your other side.
That is my other side.
Oh, good. Oh, good, Court. Oh, that is
So if
but you know
you know,
what?
if you can't
Good.
handle cursing,
Oh my gosh.
but
Let me get oh my
I figured I'd take tonight off. It was, Good Friday, and
right.
um,
Good day to be over here.
yeah, I had
Oh,
a
Carrie Ann,
very
hi. I
sad
know.
experience many years ago at the Ronald McDonald house on a Good Friday.
Oh, oh, oh.
And so, it still stays
Yep.
with you. And
You
so,
wanna you wanna do positive things and not think about that so much, but I know
yeah,
what you mean. Certain days
yeah,
sometimes can really ping us and can really kinda take us back a little bit, so
yeah.
see? I went live again tonight because that's what was needed, right?
That's exactly right. Whenever I told Indy earlier, we were talking, I said, I'm not going live tonight. I'm just going to chill. And she
Oh,
said,
tell her I
okay.
said hello. Tell her I said
I
hello.
will. I will. And she was
Oh,
out
come on over.
and
Anytime.
about.
Mhm.
Uh, her and her man were out and about with the
Nice.
kid, her niece and nephew. And so she was like, Cindy's going on. I said, what?
Sneak attack.
She sent me the link real quick, and as
Sneak
soon as
attack.
I popped the link on, boom, you were coming up.
Oh, that's so funny. Hi, Carrie Ann. Yes, yes, I know.
Hey,
And
Korean.
yes, and it was like I heard a little bit of it, and I was like, oh, it just bothered me. It bothered me, and the reason it bothered me is because not everybody's allowed to have a down day. I get it.
Yeah.
But you don't compound that with, well, you're not doing for me, and you're not, and this one's not, and this one, and then, and no, and everybody wants to watch. Oh, everyone's gonna hate watch, and then they're gonna talk about it afterwards. And no one comes in here because they're all afraid that they're gonna get bullied. No, that's not the truth. You were so rude to Valdez last night, and Valdez was nothing but kind and genuine. And even your mod was telling you there's nothing wrong here, and you got pissed at her at Tanger, and then you just abruptly ended your live because
Mm-hmm.
that's why people don't want to come in to talk to you. And I have said this before. She has to be right. She doesn't want to listen to anybody. Look, she won't
Yeah.
even listen to Tanger when she's saying there's nothing wrong here. Like, they come in with good intentions, and it's like, well, I don't know what their intentions are when they come in because they're on that other side with that other team. Listen, you don't get it both ways. Don't say people don't want to come in here because they're going to get bullied, but then don't not be welcoming because you're afraid that they have bad intentions. Take it for what it is and go with it. And then if something comes up, you can always block them. I mean, you're a big girl. You know how to do that.
She must
You
be
know how
that
this
pissed off.
YouTube world works. I mean, excuse me.
Yeah.
There's none of this. And that's what I don't like. I don't like, you don't get to play both sides of the fucking fence. Just
Like I'm really playing a little
okay.
violin for
Okay.
SG.
Right. We're playing it here. We're playing it here. Oh my gosh. But yes, that pissed me I know that pissed me the flip off. I'm sorry. I swear all the time anyways. You guys know that. I can swear on here if I want to. Let me just catch up in the chat here real quick. Oh my gosh. Yes. Okay. Aussie Amy's channel. Fantastic. Oh my God. Yes. Bama. Don't even get me started. That's when I decided, you know what? I'm going to go on now because I want to get this off my chest because I have to,
Yeah.
And I don't want someone saying that we're exploiting Gracie. We're not exploiting Gracie. And this is the other word I wanted to talk about. The other word I wanted to talk about is terrorize.
Oh my goodness.
Because that's another powerful, strong word that should not
Mm-hmm.
okay? That should not be being used out of context. Exploit was one. Okay. So now, I mean, and I'm going to be, now people don't take offense to this. Okay. But I'm going to say something very facetious here. Okay. So nobody take offense to this. I'm not putting everybody down because I would never put people down. Maybe you want to go back and get your GED, SG, before you start trying to use big words because you're using them completely in the wrong context. Okay. You want to call me a dumb, stupid woman? I have multiple college degrees, so I understand the English language. And I'm not saying people that don't have high school diplomas are dumb people, but you are dumb because you're using words completely inappropriately, and it puts down people that have been through shit, that have been in those situations. It also is trying to put blame or possibly gaslight us that we should be looked upon like we're doing something wrong.
Right.
By creating a GoFundMe for a sick child and her mother who has literally lost everything, because of the fact that she has to support her daughter, because that's what a good mother does, is not fucking exploiting a child.
Right.
It's just you being big mad that not everybody in the world is coming over to give you money. That's what that is. That's a big woe is me. Why not me? Why not me? Why them? You know what? Be happy for who you have. And you know what? Create a positive environment for more people to come into to then give to you if that's the case.
You get what you give, lady.
Thank you. Thank you. Okay. I'm sorry. I'm off my rant now. I'm off my rant. Sometimes I get going and I'm like, all right. So what do you guys think the word terrorize means? Okay. I want to know what you guys think the word terrorize means. Am I missing anybody here? Oh, there she is. Me. I'm like, who's me? Me. That's Honda's channel. I'm reading through this. Oh my God. Oh, Carrie Ann.
Oh my goodness, Jesus. Well, this sounds
And she
like
has, and
something
she's had.
she needs.
Mm,
She needs to know what this word means. I mean, she.
okay,
Mm.
hang on. So let me go to my dictionary on my other phone. Hold on. So let's see. Okay, terrorize. Okay, here we go. Here, I'm sorry, I'm not laughing. She goes, I'm reading through. Carrie Ann, did you know I'm exploiting Gracely and running a smear campaign on SG? Oh no, she's running a fucking smear campaign all on her own. She don't need any help with that. She does not need any
No.
help with that. Thank you very much. Thank
Hmm.
you. Oh, yes, when you're angry, I know, Amy. Trust me, I know. I know, Court, right? I know. There's just I'm sorry, like, we've all tried. I think all of us in one way or the other have tried to be there. No one has ever scared me, by the way, just for hindsight. No one has ever scared me away from going over to her channel. Listen, there's a lot of people out there that don't like me. There's a lot of people out there that do like me. There's a lot of people that flip-flop. And you know what? Here's the thing. At the end of the day, I'm not going to beg anybody to be my friend, and I'm certainly not going to have to prove myself
Mm-mm.
to anybody else. I'll go where I want, and my character is my character, and I will go support somebody, and no one's going to just scare me off from going there. The reason I don't is because of all of the experiences that I've had when I have gone there that have been less than subpar. Let's put it that way.
I've never. I mean, I've been in her chat. Um,
Oh, quick fix. He's correcting you. Look at this.
I know.
Oh,
I'm sorry.
he's laughing at you. Sorry. I'm sorry. He's like, don't get it twisted. I could just hear him saying,
Don't
don't
get
get
it
it twisted.
twisted.
Oh, that's so funny. Well, him and Hansa can fight it out because they've known each other just as long as they've probably known each other longer than they've known me, but we come pretty close.
Dude,
We come
dude,
pretty
I'm
close to
talking
knowing each other
about
a
from my
long time.
subscribers. not not you.
Mhm. Oh my gosh. Listen, I go where I want. Don't get it twisted. I don't go there because I don't want to, because it's not where I want to be, you
Yeah,
know? I mean,
exactly.
it's really not. Like, and but I will still put you on a prayer list, and I will send well wishes, because that's what I can do from a distance, because every little bit helps, you know?
Let me tell you something. Even I have a heart, and I'm not low enough to go against FG in her health. I would never
No, I
wish.
would
I would
never
never
do that.
wish
Nope.
sickness,
Mm-mm.
harm, distress, any type of anything on anybody.
Mhm. Yep.
Even SG, especially
Listen.
SG, because of what she's already been through. My gosh,
No
no
one
one is
wants to
trying
see
to
no
do
one wants
that.
to wish that upon somebody. No one wants anybody, and that's the thing. Like, she okay, keep going. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to cut you off. I'm sorry.
Yeah, nobody's trying to do that.
Hi,
Just because
Brandy.
someone says something about something you did or what, it doesn't mean it's your right to come back and start a total campaign of smearing them. You said I came against Gracie and them because she said something about me. Oh my gosh, are you
She was
serious?
listen, here's the other thing. She also can speak about, when you're on a public platform, people can you're putting yourself out there, and your behavior and everything. So people will speak about it just in general. Like, not everybody is going to like you. And even when you have the best intentions, people can take it the wrong way, or they can just completely just try to, like, say nasty shit about you, because that's just what they want to do, even though you are
Right.
the nicest person in the world. But you know what? That's what people do. People do it for one
Yeah.
reason or the other. Don't focus on that, you know? But
I
I'm
never
sure Bama
focused
was
on
just
my trolls.
responding. Bama was responding to nasty
Yeah.
behavior, you know?
Yeah. 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 You have to shut it down at some point. And I
Exactly. And
know it's
Bama, I
hard.
went live about this a year ago, if you don't remember. And I don't think any of my lives have really ever gotten taken down, unless I don't know. I don't think they ever have. I talked about this a year ago, and I said
Exactly,
she was
Bama.
jealous of the fact that we were giving support to you and Gracie. Then when I had
Mm.
Karen F on my panel one time when she first was diagnosed with cancer, and prayers to Karen F too. Actually, Karen F, if you're listening, if you're out there, you messaged me today, honey, and I've been meaning to text you back, and I'm like, my day just I was very ADD grocery shopping earlier anyways. But she got mad when I had Karen F on panel to speak about what she was going through initially with her cancer, and it wasn't anything planned, and we were just kind of chit-chatting.
Oh,
And she tried to say how I was so unwelcoming of Karen. Listen, if Karen thought I was unwelcoming, the first thing Karen's going to do is tell me herself, because Karen F is that kind of a bitch. Okay, like she's a ride or die, and she also speaks her mind. She's from New York originally. She's just like me. Like she, like don't twist that around. Like I was not. We're no one. You're the
see,
only
let
one
me say
from a
something.
very, very, very twisted perspective.
You know how some people walk around and everything's perfect and they just live with rose colored glasses and
Yeah, that's my sister.
nothing's
No, that's my
okay,
sister for real. No,
nothing
that's my
is
sister for
ever
real.
wrong.
I want to.
Everything goes right. You just get
They
so
just.
mad at
Oh
them.
yeah, everything is just so happy go. I say all the time, I want whatever drugs you're
Okay.
taking because she lives in this bubble. No, anyways,
Yeah,
go
she
ahead.
lives in a alternate universe.
Correct.
Yeah,
Correct.
yeah, compared to your
Oh
universe.
my god.
Okay, well, SG does that. Except her rose colored glasses are SG's mental perceptions. We should do a whole live on SG's mental perceptions.
No.
You, let me say this, you can say one sentence 10 different ways.
Well, you could say one cent. Okay, first, you mean in her eyes or in just in general?
Well, in general, you can
Right.
say it in
Correct.
10 different
Okay.
ways, but the classes of perception of her mental whatever is going on there
Mm-hmm.
to create this personality that she has because there's an issue, but because of that she sees it all twisted.
But does she, or does she like to just constantly twist it to whatever story
Well,
it fits for
it
that
could be
moment?
one of those two things because she's just batshit crazy.
Correct. Correct.
I
Brandy,
mean,
hi girl.
both go hand in hand.
Yeah. Well,
I mean,
yes,
I'm
Karen F
living with
has such a
the
kick-ass attitude. Yes. Yes. Karen, I listen, I will take notes from Karen F because she has got a kick-ass attitude and I know not everything. Listen, nothing is ever easy, okay? Like, but you have to, it's mind over matter. It's mind over matter.
exactly.
Okay? It's mind over matter. Like,
Yep.
and I'm telling you, I told you I was texting with my heart surgeon like not even a month ago because I was so sick this winter and they sent me for chest x-ray and then they wanted to send me for a CAT scan and it threw me for a
Scare the
loop
shit out of you.
because I haven't had one done in 12 years since I had all my open heart surgeries done 12 years ago. And it scared
Right.
the shit out of me. And I was like, oh my God. Like they're like, we see something, we want you to go have a cat. I'm like, oh,
Oh,
I'm like,
oh,
oh, like for a second, it choked me up like, what the fuck? So right away, I'm like, okay, like I'll just get on this, like keep on top of it right away. Like, you don't know, like that could be a lot of different things, you know?
yeah.
Um, and so when I texted my heart surgeon, because I've always kept in contact with him, he's the man that saved my life, literally. He put my insides back together and stitched me up multiple times. And I
Yeah.
texted him and I asked him, and he said, and he's like, and he just has this incredible bedside manner, calming demeanor about him.
Mhm.
And I can hear his voice talking to me in text message. Like I can hear that.
Yeah.
And he's just like, I'm sure he's like, I think it's just a lot of people have persistent cough this season. People's illnesses are lingering longer because a lot of people have suffered through COVID. He goes, you have gone through. I said, they want me to go and have a CAT scan done because of my previous history. Like, well, I don't have any previous history because like I don't think of myself having ever been sick because it's like other than the scars and everything else that was messed up inside, I'm on like nothing.
Mhm.
Like, it's like it never happened because I was very healthy and I got really he saved my life and he goes, "You did all the hard work." So we talk about this all the time and I'll always thank him and he goes, "Don't thank me." I go, "No, I will thank you because you know what? You made my children know who their mother is." That's what I say. I don't say you made me be here. I go, "You allowed my children to get to know their mother where they never would have."
Yes.
I mean, and he
Yeah.
needs to hear that because his job is such a terrible like it's a good job, but it's doesn't always have those end results. You know what I'm saying? So
Outcomes. Yeah.
it can be very depressing for the doctors on that end too, you know what I mean? So I always give praise, but yeah, I just No, but I mean, it's like I said to him, I asked him, I said, "Do you think mind over matter is," I said, "I know, like, from a spiritual and a wellness, because we're very much similar in that regard, but I go from a doctor's perspective." I said, "Do you really believe mind over matter is like it matters?" And he goes, 100,000%. I said, "I knew you were gonna say
Hmm.
that." Because it does. It does.
It does.
He sees people day in and day out. He's operating on heart after heart after heart after heart. The man operates on hearts. Like, I'm like, "Well, don't,"
Yeah.
I got, because don't strain those eyes and those hands too much, because we may need them again someday. You know what I mean? So I tell him that all the time. But this is a doctor. This is a renowned heart surgeon that has
Yeah.
been all over the world, because he's been recruited by top-notch hospitals to come in and do these incredible surgeries. You know what I mean? Like, for people.
Right.
Um,
That's amazing. That's awesome.
oh my
I
gosh. So
have
yeah.
the best heart doctor in this community, so
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
everybody goes to him, and he's like the chief of cardiology at the hospital that I was in.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, when I went in, they found out that I was septic and I had fluid, and
Oh,
anyway, they got all the fluid off, but they kept hearing an extra heartbeat, and I told him, well, that's what my heart doctor told me, my cardiologist the last time that did a heart cath. He said, well, something's not right. So they went to take me in for a stress test and a where they put you in through the tube, and then you're supposed to go in and you're supposed to walk on the treadmill. And before I could even get in there, he's looking at my machine and he's looking at me, and I'm just laying there. He's looking back at that machine and he looked at that nurse. He said, take her back. He said, I'm not making her walk. She's got too many. And he did his little hand up and down. And so the next morning, I was doing a heart cath,
oh my gosh.
and it came back that everything's fine, but I have an extra heartbeat. And because of that extra heartbeat, it makes my heart weak
Because it's
because it's
working
just
extra hard.
pumping.
It's working extra hard. Oh
Right.
my God.
Yeah.
Wow.
So they sent me home with a defibrillator that I had to wear for
Oh,
3 months.
wait,
And
you had to,
it
you
was
had to,
like a holster under my boobs, and the defibrillator went across my back.
okay.
And the only time I could take it off was when I showered.
And it was there just in case your heart gave out for some reason.
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
automatically kicks in. I got you. I got you. Okay. Okay.
Yeah. And if it
Do they
kicked
call it, they
at
don't
the
call,
alarm
oh,
started sounding and I was awake, I just turned it off.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
But if I was in real trouble and needed it, of course it would revive me.
Mm-hmm. It kicks in
And
automatically. I got you. I got
but I
you.
just went to the heart doctor the other day, the
Oh my
cardiologist, and Dr.
gosh.
Chaudhry
Awesome.
said, you look great. Your heart is getting stronger. We're going to do this, this, and this. See you back in this, this, and this, and that's it. So I'm getting better.
Oh, that's fantastic. I'm so glad.
Yeah,
That is
because
so,
my dad had heart conditions. He had a open heart surgery,
mm,
and he had 10% blood flow through one valve, and they ended up putting a titanium heart valve in. And so every time his heart, that blood flowed, his heart would tick, and you could hear it
oh my
outside of his
gosh.
body.
No kidding.
No kidding. I swear. I swear. I
Wow. Brandy, have a
don't
good
swear
night. Thank you for coming
to.
in, sweetheart.
Yeah. Hey,
Um,
bye, Brandy.
Valdez, I'm so glad you have a good heart. You would need a good heart team. Everybody needs a good heart team.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Oh, Trump's my other daughter's heart surgeon was just visiting. The team didn't want to operate on her. He was Army doctor and came this morning and said he wanted to save her. God was definitely watching over us. Wow. See, you never realize, like,
You
people have been
never.
through,
Yeah.
and well, mine was a result of my pregnancy, because it's called postpartum cardiomyopathy.
Uh huh.
And if you've never seen, I do a video with my heart surgeon when my boys were about 18 months old, to speak about, basically to promote, like, the cardiac catheterization lab and the team at Yale, because I'm right where Yale is, and and whatnot, because that was my gift. That was what, like when you were speaking the other night about how it's your give back, but it's therapeutic for you to talk about what you've been through with
Right.
your son. I knew exactly what you meant by that, because that was therapeutic to me, because it was such an incredibly traumatic, and it happened so fucking fast. Like we didn't even know. I just literally had twins. Like they were 5 days old.
Right.
I mean, I'm
Right.
literally in. I was home for one night and I was in complete heart failure, and my heart was only operating at 5%, because what happens with postpartum cardiomyopathy is, in layman's terms, your heart starts operating and pumping your blood the opposite way. So my lungs were backing up with blood, and I was slowly drowning in my own blood. And
Right.
the
Wow.
OB, and I just didn't know what I was supposed to feel like, because it was my only pregnancy, my only childbirth. I was just so incredibly fatigued and tired. And then I couldn't breathe. I sounded like a science experiment. I was incredibly, well,
Yeah.
obviously, they're like, if you hadn't rushed yourself to the hospital, I had to beg, borrow, and steal the doctors to give me the okay, because the last thing you want to do is go back to the hospital, you know? But they,
Right.
and without even seeing me when I was home, 2 inhalers, because they thought I had some kind of a bronchial infection. It exacerbated it 10 times worse, because it would open up the lungs and the blood would pour in.
See, that's why they don't like giving prescriptions through the phone. They make you come
Oh, well,
in.
this was 12 years ago, but yeah, they didn't, it's like they didn't want to,
Mhm.
and I'm like, I was never, I mean, I was never that patient that was a hypochondriac. I mean, I always was,
Right,
I woke
right.
up right up until I think 2 days before I went into the hospital to start labor. I was still working. I was still working at least one day a week, and I was on my feet. I mean, pregnant
I'm
with twins,
just
I was
saying
ready for
though,
full
just
term.
saying it just made it worse. It exacerbated
It
it.
exacerbated it. Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Wow. Thank God
And
you got
they,
to the hospital.
oh my gosh, it was like, but I
Jeez.
mean, had it not been for when I got there, at the time that I got there, between the cardiologist that was on call that night and my heart surgeon, and at that time, the machines that they had at Yale, my doctor was recruited there because these machines were in their infancy stage. Like they still were in kind of like trial phase. So it was the only hospital. He was recruited to go there to see about using these machines to see if they were going to start working on people, and they used it on me. And had I been anywhere else in the state, even at that time, I wouldn't have made it, because they didn't have those machines at any of the other hospitals at that time. And
Oh
this is what, like
my.
12 years ago.
Yeah.
Um, so it, like, those doctors do amazing things, and they are human beings, and they work very
Mhm.
hard. And a lot of times their outcomes, like I would always say, I'm so happy, thank you so much. Like I would thank everybody, like from
Yeah.
his team. You become close. Like, he has a team. Like
Sure.
he can
Yes.
cherry picks every single person, his head nurse, this person, that person, everything. And and his head nurse would come in and talk to me, and she'd say, as therapeutic as it is for you to talk about it or to just go and do things, she goes, I want you to know something. You give him purpose. Because when I walked around,
Mhm.
the first time they got me finally up and out of bed, and this is after weeks and weeks and weeks of being in ICU, and I walked around, I didn't realize where I was, if that makes any sense,
Yeah.
in the hospital. And when I walked around, it was ICU, and it's like it's 1-to-1 ratio, nurse to patient. And you're seeing all these people with these hazmat suits going into these rooms, like, the garb on. It was incredibly daunting. Like, oh my God, where it was like the Twilight Zone. Like,
Yeah.
my nurse would say, come on, let's try to go for a walk. Let's get you up and moving now, when I was ready. And we'd go, and I'd have all my machines hooked up with the pole, and she'd push the pole, and I'd try to walk. And I'm like looking around going, where in the world am I?
Damn, I like oh Lord.
Oh,
Oh gosh.
what did she say? Oh, no, no, no. I missed something.
I was
Sorry.
supposed to say, did that come out when what was that? The Walking Dead came out.
Oh, what? What's that? Wait, hang on. What are you talking about?
When you were in the hospital.
Oh, you know what? I don't know. Yeah, because Walking Dead has had like what, 12, I don't even know how many seasons.
I
I
don't
don't
know how
even know.
many seasons, but the guy wakes up in the hospital in
Yes,
the first.
yes. That, oh my God, you're absolutely right. When Rick Grimes wakes up in the
Yeah.
hospital, and he's like, what the fuck is going on? That was like me walking around. I'm like, where the fuck am I? Like, people would come into my room, and they would look at me, and I'm like, what, like with these looks, and I'm like, why are they looking at me like that? Like, they're like, oh, like the mom, like I was in my early 30s, the mom of twins that survived. I'm like, why are people looking at me like this? Like, I didn't understand. Like, I'm pretty perceptive, and I'm like, even in my sickness, I was like, and you can't get out of bed, you know what I mean? Because you have all these machines under you. You're like, and I was like, I need
Right.
to go to the bathroom. They're like, honey, you can't go anywhere right now. You're hooked up to so many machines. I have pictures of it. And then I'm like walking around, and I'm like, that's why they're looking at me like that. There's all these, like, old people and sick people, and
Oh.
oh my god. And they would get mad because I would take my heart monitors off of me in the hospital room, and that sounds obviously the alarms, and they would come in, I go,
Oh.
"I don't want these things on anymore," and they're like, "Sin." I'm like, "Please." I'm like, and then I became a pain in the ass. My mother goes, "I think she's feeling better." And I'm like, "Can I have a hairbrush?" And I, like, needed to brush my hair. Like, "Can I have a cup of coffee now?" They're like, "No, you can't have any caffeine." I'm like, "Can I have decaf?" They're like, "No." Like,
Oh my
I
goodness.
was, like, just becoming a pain in the ass. I'm like, "Can I leave now? Like, can I gotta go home. I got things I gotta take care of," you know?
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah. They knew then you were feeling better.
start feeling better, and you're just like, it's just
Yeah.
and I'm so sarcastic. Like, I really can be so fun. I'm like, "Oh," and they're like, "What?" I'm like, "I need I'm like, "I just want a bathroom. I just want my own private bathroom." I'm like, "Oh my gosh." It's like, but man, I mean, those people that take care of you, the night nurses, the everybody, I mean, they just all add to, your care, and that means so much.
Mhm.
And
Yeah.
so I always will every year on the kid's birthday and on Mother's Day, I will always send my heart surgeon pictures of the kids, and I will say thank you. You know what I mean? Because it's another
Yeah.
year that I'm here for their birthday. It's another year that I'm here for Mother's Day, and that's
Yeah.
all that matters. You know what I mean? Because they wouldn't. I'm like, no, no, no. I need to be here for them.
Yeah. That's
you
exactly
know,
right.
you know what I mean? But no, I mean that's how. But you got to understand too, not you, but like it wasn't always as easy for me to talk about or to get through. Like I went through so much, and I'm going home, and I got to take care of two kids, and I've got to, by the way, try to get back to work because we're majorly behind. You know what I mean? And
Right.
we're
Right.
too prideful to even ask family for help. I mean, like,
Mhm.
let alone set up a GoFundMe. I mean, so there was a lot of stress involved in all of this. Like
Yeah.
so much stress, and then you just compound it with a lot of, like you said, sometimes relationships don't survive traumatic
Yeah.
experiences, and it just, it wasn't just that, but there were a lot of things that happened after the facts, and eventually my husband and I got divorced, which is fine because I was not upset about that. I was like, I just need to move forward with my life and my children and just do the very best that I can, like, for them, you know what I mean? So
Yeah.
but you got to push away the toxicity and the negativity, and sometimes something is right in the moment, and then it might
Mhm.
be long term, you know what I mean? So even when I hear her speak about like people that she was friends with, but now she's no longer friends with, and this now, well, that happens. That's kind of part of life, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, and not things happen sometimes. I hate to say that they
That's
do.
the ebb and flow of
Suck.
life, though. It really is.
It does suck, but I
Yeah.
mean, um,
Yeah. I went
whoa,
through my
oh,
life
Vic.
and
Yep, she had preeclampsia. I had preeclampsia at the very end too. Yep, yep.
mhm.
There you go. Yep. Oh no, see, part of my problem was that they induced me because I was hell-bent in high water on giving birth to these children naturally, and I was on pitocin, and I was induced for almost 3 days. You know what strain that put on my heart?
Oh my gosh, girl.
And they
Yeah.
still didn't push me to do the C-section. I was so exhausted after almost 3 days of being induced that I think that that's also part of what added to it.
Oh yeah, I would say.
Um, yeah. Yeah. So what I have taken from this experience outside of all of the negative shit, what I have taken from it, and I say to everybody, is you need to be your own advocate always and be an advocate for your,
Yes.
and you need to ask questions, and you need to speak up when you don't understand something, and don't
Yeah.
let anybody ever push you around when it comes to your own health or your children's health or anything in terms of your own well-being. Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't
Yes.
I mean, I just kind of was like, "Okay, okay," and I just kind of nodded my head, and I did what the doctors told me because I was raised that, you respect
You
doctors,
don't you're
you
right,
don't
you don't
question
ask
it. You
questions.
respect people
Yeah.
of authority, policemen, firemen, judges, like, people in authority. Well, guess what?
Look, yeah, you can ask questions and be
Right.
respectful.
Well, and I didn't even it was like and then they pushed you out of the hospital, like, I still wasn't feeling well. I'm like, "I don't know if I should be," and they're like, "No, you're like, your insurance says it's time to go home," and I'm like, they did a chest X-ray before I went home, and like, "Well, you have a little bit of fluid. We'll give you a medication to take to help drain the fluid out." It was starting already at that point before I even left discharged with the kids.
Wow.
But because of
They should have
insurance and
caught
everything,
that.
because of insurance and shit like that, they push you out, you know?
That was messed up on their part.
Yeah, it was definitely it was, yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, exactly, Amy, exactly. Friends come into your life
Yep.
for a reason or a season. That's
Yep.
right.
That's
Or at
true.
a moment. Exactly. Yep. Yep. Yep.
I've got lifelong
Exactly.
friends, and I've had friends that have come and gone. I've had
Um,
friends that I've had to, cut ties with. I
exactly.
mean,
Yes.
it's called life.
It just is. Yes, spam insurance. Well, so that's a lot of when I started my channel was I always wanted to talk about it to give people that ability to always be their own advocate, right? Or if they can't be for some reason, or even when you go to the doctor, like I would always even have my mother with me when the twins were really young, because twins, babies go to the doctor, they do it, and it's like twice as long, right? So I mean, like,
Right.
and I always like to have another set of ears in case I missed something. And
In case you missed
my
something.
mother is like
Yeah.
an elephant. She remembers everything. She'll to this day, she'll tell me something that happened 11 years ago verbatim, and I'm like, really? Like, I'm like, I'm like, this is why this is why I say, come with me. I want you to listen. I want you to, because she'll tell me. I'm like,
Yeah.
you got to start recording these things, Mom, because eventually someday you might not be here to remind me. And I'm going to go,
Uh-huh.
man, I'm going to go, Mom, can you remind me of what this was, But
Yeah.
I mean, I would say to her, can you come with me? I just like to have another, you know, I have a coworker that's going through some stuff right now, and I said to her, she's all over the place with doctors, and whenever she tries to tell me what she's got this doctor, that doctor, no, and I'm like, if you ever want me to come with you, her daughter lives in the city, and her daughter will come with her sometimes, but she works in New York City, she lives in New York City, so I said, if you ever want me to come with you, please just let me know, because I know sometimes it's nice to have another set of for moral support or whatever the case is.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Exactly.
a lot of the reason I started my channel was because I wanted to speak about that. And I wanted to also, the other part of my life was dealing with a lot of corrupt court stuff, family court system stuff. And
Yeah.
that was the other thing I always wanted to kind of talk about. Um, Valdez, I'm so glad that you're here. Absolutely, Team Gracie. Valdez, I definitely want you to keep us updated, okay, please? And I even said to you before, and then it goes, and it always goes. I know you have a lot of support with what you're going through medically, but if there's just anything we can do, and I will get you, if it's okay with your permission, I'm going to send a list of names for the prayer list to my godmother. And I would love to be able to put you on that prayer list as well. So, um, but have a wonderful night. Just, take it easy. So glad that
Yeah, that
you're here.
is.
We're talking about this. My God, we've been on for almost 2 hours. All right, we're gonna get back to that. We're gonna get back to that one word. Here we go. I couldn't get doctors to take me serious and order proper tests for Gracie. She ended up in heart failure in end stage 4 diagnosis.
Poor diagnosis.
See,
Before
and
they would
you know
help.
what? I was the
Jesus.
same. I literally got through the emergency room doors after I begged, borrowed, and stealed from my doctor to say, go back to the hospital. Obviously you can always go to the emergency room. I collapsed through the front doors, and they were yelling at my husband at the time saying, what is going on? And he's like, she's been talking to the doctors all day and they didn't want her to come to the hospital. Like literally collapsed through the front doors. And that's like what I last remember until I woke up
Mm.
in ICU and I was all hooked up to machines and shit
Oh
after
shit.
being in a medically induced coma for 5 or 6 days. Yeah, yeah. Yep, yep. All because insurance didn't want to cover tests or scans, correct? Well, that's even like me with this CAT scan this last time. I mean, you just don't walk into the hospital and say, excuse me, I need a CAT scan done. It was like
No.
I had 3 doctor appointments. I had gone through a whole series of antibiotics, cough medicine,
Mm-hmm.
then went back to the doctor finally in person because I was well enough to, came home with, 2 inhalers, some more cough medicine, and went for a chest x-ray because he said, well, just to be on the safe side. So I didn't like run to do it like right away, but I still was like wheezing and whatever, and then I finally went, it was like a couple days later. And then within 2 hours, my doctor called me and he goes, we need to schedule you for a CAT scan. Like called me within 2 hours of having the chest x-ray done. So if I had the chest x-ray done, say at 8:15, by 10:15 in the morning, he was calling me. That's how quickly he called me. And that also told me that it was pretty serious too. you know? But
Yeah.
you have to go through this series of all these things to show the insurance companies due diligence. You can't just run
Mhm.
and
Mhm.
have this done because, and that's the worst.
Everything is step by step now.
It is. It's and I understand covering your bases, but when there's a child or there's an emergent type situation, um, you have to get it, you have to get it done.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I know. I know, Bama. Yeah, I was in
Oh,
heart
Bama.
failure is heart failure. I was in heart failure. That meant all my vital organs were shutting down. When I listened to this video that my heart surgeon did, because when we recorded the video for Yale years ago, I did my part, my interview, and he did his separately, and then they put it, they spliced it together. And when I
Uh-huh.
listened to it though, like I never heard him speak to me about it in that way. When I heard it more from a doctor technical terms, and he's like, oh yeah, he goes, she had minutes to hours to live. She was in kidney failure, liver failure, all her vital organs started to shut down. I like gasped. I was like, no, nobody ever told me that, but like
Yeah. You
it's
didn't
obvious
know the
her
extent.
entire insides are shutting down. He's like, minutes to hours to live is what he said. She had minutes to hours. That's crazy, you know? I'm like, "Oh, thank God for people like
Well,
him."
Bama.
Yeah, I know. It's a nightmare. Yep. Oh, and no, because of COVID, correct. Well, you know what, Bama?
And see, my
There's
son,
gonna be something, there's gotta be a light at the end of the tunnel, honestly. There
yeah,
has to be, you
my
know?
son died January 27th,
Mm,
2020, and
right
COVID hit
right before. Oh my gosh.
right after.
Yep.
If COVID would have hit like a couple of months before,
Mhm.
then we would have not been able to bring him home and be with him when he passed.
Oh, because they wouldn't allow for hospice to come into your
Yes.
home or anything because
Yeah,
there were so many stupid fucking restrictions. Oh my God.
right. And so it was like a godsend. And not
A
only that,
blessing in disguise. Yeah.
but then we were grieving. Me and my husband were grieving,
And you can't be around
and
anybody.
COVID hit, and you couldn't be around nobody. So we grieved by ourselves, and it pretty much made us, I wouldn't say hermits,
Mm,
you know, but it cut us off from all the outside. And it really healed us. It helped heal us.
really? Because you guys just did
Yes,
it together. You just did it together. You weren't focused on anything else. You had to get through it, and there was no other
exactly.
choice. Wow, I never thought of it that way.
Yeah,
That's amazing. You were able to focus on what you were going through in your pain
yeah,
and work through it together. That's
yeah.
incredible. So that was a blessing in and of itself too.
He didn't have to go to work right away.
Right. Oh my gosh.
Everything was shut down. And so, but then it also brought another side to it too, and where it was easy for me to just be in the bed.
Yes.
And for the first year, I just stayed in the bed
Mhm. Yeah.
because I told God, I don't really want to die, but I don't really want to live either.
Right. I know.
And
I
um,
understand. I do. I
I
understand.
ended up getting on YouTube one day, and I started watching different videos. I started
Mhm.
watching a tow truck driver. I started watching Tom Reed, Chosen One, and um, then I watched him for a while, went through the videos. Then I ended up moving on to other Kensington stuff. And Frank's was the first chat, Legos, and then Mike's, and. So I had left the Chosen One community while all that stuff's going on in the background.
Mhm. I hear it.
I'm over here in this
I
other
hear it.
community,
I hear it.
and then I come back, and then all this is happening, and I'm like, Chosen One community, who's that? And then they say Tom Reed, and I'm like, oh shit, I
Mm.
used to watch Tom Reed.
That's funny. That's it. That's
And
yeah.
I mean, I knew Sharon from there and everything.
Mhm.
Maddie, Sharon,
Mhm.
all those girls, the ones that
Mhm.
died.
Wow.
Yeah.
See, now I came into it differently. Like I was part first, I was Frank Morals Over Money. YouTube suggested his channel to me because I'm a hairstylist and he's a barber. And I would, during COVID,
Right.
I would watch, we would always have to do continuing ed, and I couldn't go to classes or I couldn't keep up on techniques. So people started doing videos and education online. And so I started watching more. I used to just use YouTube at one time for music, and that was it. And then I started
Yep.
watching while I was homeschooling all the kids. I would be keeping up on my continuing ed for work and whatnot, because all of our shops shut down, everything shut down.
Everything. Yeah.
And then so it started suggesting channels based on what I was watching, which were all these, hair videos, and it suggested him because he's a barber. And
Mm-hmm.
then and I found Lego, and then from Lego I found Bob. So I never even was part of, you know what I'm saying? So I was part of Kensington, and then I found, CWC kind of a backdoor in a
Right.
way.
See, that's so we're kind of in the same
Yeah.
boat, just
Yeah.
different entrances.
Right, 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 right,
Yeah.
right. I
Yeah.
mean,
Because I had to go through all my shit with, drones or eagles.
I
And
vaguely
then,
remember I was, and the thing is with me, it's like I come on, but like my life doesn't revolve around YouTube. Like I come on when I have time and it's fun.
yeah.
And uh and I would watch different channels. And I remember when he was going live a lot, and I would listen to him because he would come on really early in the morning, and I would get up early
Mm-hmm.
some mornings. And sometimes it's just nice to listen to somebody, and I would say hello.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember you being in there, and then when Quick Vic was, I'm like, oh, I know Quick Vic, so just would say hello a couple times. I think I went on his panel one time to say hello.
Mm-hmm.
And that's when, like, there was a lot of good people over there. And
Yeah.
I don't remember specifically, but I remember him really having it out with a few people. And I remember you were one of them, and Indie Mom was one of them, and Quick Vic became
Mm-hmm.
another one of them. And I was like, what is going on? Like, it was just like all of a sudden, and I'm
It
like,
was like, what the hell happened over
right. I'm
there?
like, Honeybees is like a real nice person. Like,
Yeah. And he was coming after me, girl.
oh,
He was coming after me. He would never use honeybees. He would always say Melissa.
right. Well, you weren't going by your first name on YouTube, right?
Right, right. And then I changed it. So then when he started telling everybody that he was getting threatening emails, he doxed me. And I'm one of those, Cindy. I may not come out and fight you right off. I'll just sit back and
Mm-hmm.
watch you.
Right.
And then
He was purposely
don't,
trying to hurt you.
yes, don't fucking hurt, don't slander my name. I have a good character because this is who I am. I don't play a character. I
No.
am who I am.
Exactly, I say the same thing.
And people
And we're
love me
human,
for
and we
who I
do make mistakes,
am.
but I mean,
Yeah.
you can tell the difference when someone's doing something on purpose versus a mistake. And
Yeah.
he was going hardcore to try
He
to
was
really
coming
hurt you.
hardcore at me.
Yeah.
Hardcore. Over a year and a half, he was still saying it, still telling new people that were coming in about all these haters and trolls and Melissa and Indie Mom and all this stuff and Quick Vic. He won't say Quick Vic. He says QV.
Mhm.
And now he thinks it's QV and Frank. He'll never say my name. I have a whole channel
Yeah,
against
because
him.
he doesn't wanna give the channels, like, any kind of, like, advertisement, and so if he says Quick Vic or Morals Over Money, it'll actually make people go
Yeah.
over to the channel. But
Well,
yeah,
that's
no,
okay
there was some controversy. Morals Over Money was
I remember that.
he wasn't doing anything shady, but there was something between him and, what's his name? Oh my gosh,
Mal.
Mal, thank you. And,
Mhm.
because I think he wanted to put something out there that he had heard. And, sometimes people hear things,
Mhm.
when you're dealing with people in the addiction community, a lot of times they might tell you something, and
Mhm.
because you're interviewing them for, however much you're giving. So, you have to kind of take certain things with a grain of salt. But I think
Yeah,
Frank
and
is
he
always,
ran
for
with
me,
it.
I've always loved Frank and his wife and his, you know what I mean?
Me too.
Yeah, I think that he's always
But
been
he
standing up
did that was a wrong move, I believe.
and Mal, I think, has always been doing the right thing too, but you just don't really
Mhm.
know 100% of what's going on in the background either.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Um, and I know that there are some people that will only go to like one of the Kensington channels and they won't go to the others. But Morals
Yes.
Over Money was one of the very first ones that were out there doing the
Exactly.
vlogging and putting and
Mhm.
really shining light on
Getting
what
it
was going on.
out.
It wasn't
Yeah.
It wasn't to be
And now
exploiting
Frank
it.
really
Exploit.
talks about addiction and recovery.
He can speak to it from so many different levels, and I've loved
Yes.
watching how he's evolved over time
Mhm.
because
Mhm.
he can see it more and more and more. He was a drug dealer at one time. He was in addiction. He lost his mother. Well, he lost his mother in a car accident, but he lived. She was
Yes.
in addiction. His father was in addiction. He
His
just lost his
sister.
his baby sister to addiction.
Mhm.
He's lost a lot of loved ones
A
to it.
lot of friends. A
His
lot of
his wife and
friends.
him speak about how they both were addicts, and I mean,
Addicted.
literally, like
Mhm.
he had to go to prison. He spent a lot of time in
Girl, I was
prison.
obsessed with his channel when I
I love
when
that's
I
all I ever
found
watched.
his
One summer,
channel. That's
oh,
all I watched.
oh, me too. I'm surprised I never saw you over there.
I'm surprised. Well, when I first started watching him, I had no clue that there was anything called a chat until one night I went on and it said live, and
Oh,
I figured out there was a chat. And then I was like, well, how do you chat? I had to figure it
oh
all
my god,
out.
that's so funny.
And so I never did really chat in Frank's. I knew who Quick Vic was. I knew who Honda Mommy was.
Mhm.
Um, I
That's where I
knew
met Honda
certain
Mommy, that's where I
people.
met Quick Vic, all those
Yeah.
guys, Murph, his wife,
Yes.
Tells, um,
Mhm.
all of those people. Yeah, he did accuse Mal of that because he was told stories and he interviewed these women and he blurred out their faces, but there were people saying that there was some nefarious stuff going on there, and I don't really know.
Well, and there
Um,
was a guy they ended up finding out that was a serial rapist or
right,
whatever
but
in
it wasn't
Kensington named
right.
Mal or Mal
Oh.
whatever his name is. But it wasn't
Oh, yeah, his
our
wife
Mal,
was
you know.
okay, okay. Yeah, Stephanie, he lost his sister,
Yeah.
less than s was it, 6 less
It's
than a
been
year ago,
about
less than a year ago,
yeah, it's
about a year
less
ago,
than a year.
less than a
Yeah.
year ago, yeah. Yeah, she has passed
And
away,
he's
yeah.
a great dad and he works, Mike talks so bad, and that's Drones or Eagles. Mike is.
He's
He
jealous, he's very
talks. He
jealous.
talks so bad about Frank
Well, because
now,
Frank
and
pushed him to the side because he said, he
yeah,
wanted nothing to do with him because he was just a scammer,
yeah.
you know?
Well, I could show 4 years ago all of his videos where he was chasing down and obsessed
I remember that,
with
I
hunting
remember
down
that.
Frank,
Yep, yep,
and he
yep.
did. And now he's obsessed with hunting down Mel. He hunted down Mel when Mel was in the hospital recently, and Mel kept it a secret. How do you hunt
Really?
somebody down like that? He
Wait,
brought him
hang
a
on, say that
bag
again,
with
say that
a.
again, say that again? Sorry.
He hunted Mal down. Mal was sick in the
I
hospital, very
remember
sick.
vaguely. He had a heart thing going on, yeah.
Yes. And Mike, I guess, hunted him down and found him and went and just popped up in his room.
What?
Yeah.
Oh, Amy goes,
Yeah.
"That's weird." Bam was like,
Yeah. You
you're right,
think?
Bam. I don't think he ever apologized. I don't know if Frank ever really followed through
I
on
don't think
knowing that he was
so. Uh-uh.
I don't think he knows if he was right or wrong. And Frank's had a lot going on, I think, personally, so he'll start
Mm-hmm.
on something. The one thing about Frank is,
Good intentions.
he has very good intentions. He has very
Mm-hmm.
good intentions. Absolutely. He does what he does, and everybody. This is where everybody does their own part. But people shouldn't be criticized for not doing. But you're right. If he was putting it out there, um, but I don't think it tarnished Mal's reputation because Mal's has the a very good
Yeah,
following no matter what, and so he had
yeah, he
really good
really
people.
does.
But I think also Frank was doing it from if I can remember correctly, like not remember, but if I know him to know who he is, he would never just put something out there to put something out there because he's not clout chasing or anything like that. He really wanted people to be aware because people are getting hurt or were getting hurt down there and they still are. He wanted them to be aware. And so I think he
Yeah.
was doing it more as like an awareness type of thing because he wanted people to be like understanding of just be careful. You know what I'm saying? So,
It was a
um,
really, really bad ordeal. Either way you go on both. I mean, it just.
I mean, I can understand wanting to put it out there if somebody's telling you that that happened, and we don't really know to this day. Um, but like I said, I don't fault somebody for wanting to keep people safe. But you're right. I mean, I don't really know. You know what I mean? But he hasn't really been on too much lately. I mean, I know
No, he hasn't.
he's been dealing with a lot. You know, his father I know is
He is
ill.
ill.
Yep,
Yes.
his father's ill. So,
He found out
um,
he had cancer and he hasn't spoken to him in 10 years.
yeah, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You
Yeah,
know,
Bama,
and
I know it's
Mal has
not
had
and it's
his
not and
own
they're in
struggles.
such a dangerous community as it is, so you're right. I mean, you don't really wanna say anything unless but, like, people in those communities don't go to the cops, they don't report things
Mm-mm.
whenever it happens because they don't always pay attention, you know what I mean? So, I think that's why if I had to guess, that's what his intentions were. But you're right, I mean, it's not any place to be putting somebody in, um, a situation like that could be potentially dangerous, you know what I mean? Because
Yeah.
that's not good, you know what I mean? But I think he thought that he had gathered enough evidence because he's never one to really talk about people. He's not like that, you know what I
No,
mean?
he's
He doesn't
not. He is
he
not. He
really
has
so I don't
never.
yeah, no, he doesn't really
That's
ever
why when all that came out, I was shocked.
yeah, I remember that. It was a couple years ago. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. And
I can see it from both standpoints. I really can, you
yeah,
know?
because I loved both of them. I watched all of Mal's stuff. I watched all of Frank's stuff. I was loved watching the Kensington's,
Yeah,
stuff.
I
And
do
then
too. I did too.
when all of the stuff
Lego, I
happened
love
with Mike,
Lego.
uh-huh. And Lego even, he don't have Surviving Kensington
No, he
anymore.
doesn't. It's
He
different name
has,
now.
it's Wealthy Spirit
That's
Entertainment.
right. That's right. That's right.
And
I always liked chatting his checks.
he has one live on that channel, Cindy.
Really?
Yes. And if you go listen to it, just the first 5 minutes, Honda Mommy comes into the chat and said, "Oh my God, I'm so glad to see you because, somebody said that you had died."
Right. Oh, and that was drones.
That was
I
Drones.
remember this. I caught part of that replay and I remember Honda coming in. You're right.
And
Absolutely.
he says, "Well, now that I'm not on Surviving Kensington anymore, I can say what the fuck I want to say, basically." And he was like, "That motherfucker's nothing but a fucking crackhead." Yeah. He put him on
Wow.
blast. And I believe Lego. Lego is in them streets.
Oh,
Like he,
he lives there. He lives
yeah,
there.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, he ain't stupid. So I
See, Bama,
believe him.
Bama, I didn't even follow. See, the thing is, I've subscribed to everybody's channels and I didn't even know. See, but like the girls were admitting that Frank paid them to say that
Oh,
about
I see.
that's
I didn't know
and that's
that.
if that's the case, then I'm very surprised because
Yeah. Uh,
yeah, I mean, but then again, well, I don't know.
it's just horrible what
It's just
happened. It
not
really
right.
is.
It really,
Yeah.
yeah, it's just not right.
It was
I
going
would
about the wrong way.
I would hope that yeah,
And I
but
think Frank knows that. That's why he never talked about it again.
mm-mm. Jesus. You just never know. You just never know.
Yeah, that's right.
Wow. Well, that would be cool for you to get Lego up on your crime channel one night to talk about stuff.
Oh, wouldn't it?
I wonder if there's a way if he has an email or something. Probably just go comment on his
I'll
live
just
video.
leave a comment
Yeah. Because
over
I think
there
that
on
would be
his
super cool for
channel.
you to talk to him. He's one of the original I mean, he's grown up there, he's lived through it. He wants to get out of there eventually. I mean, he's stuck between a rock and a hard place. It's like he doesn't want to raise his family there, but sometimes people just are stuck where they are, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Um, but he would be a really good person to speak to about um a lot of that. You know what I mean?
yeah,
I didn't know that
yeah.
he said that. He goes, now that I'm not on Surviving Kids. Well, did he take Surviving Kensington down? Like he just didn't
I
want to do it
think
anymore?
I think so. He's not gonna. I don't. He's not gonna do it.
He
He
had a
said,
lot of subs. He was monetized and everything?
"Uh huh."
Wow.
I think so. Yeah, he was monetized.
I would think. Wow. Mm.
Yeah,
He
I
was
just.
going through a lot too with his family, I think, right? There was something looming over his and his brother's heads through like with court, but they had to get through it and they did. And
They ended up getting through that. I think.
yeah, I vaguely remember that too. Wow. Oh my gosh. That was years ago too. Jesus.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. I'm trying to think. I'm thinking here. I'm like, oh my god. Now, do you ever watch? Well, speaking of Kensington, and then we'll go back to eventually what we were talking about before. Do you ever watch Jeff's High on Life?
Every now and again, yes, I will go in there and I'll just say hey.
Yep. Yep.
He's subscribed to me and I'm subscribed to him, and um he's another, he's in contact with Amber, who is very, very
Yes.
sick in the
Yes.
hospital now.
Yes.
And so I like to keep up with her, and
Sure.
but he has a nice chat girl.
He's great.
Um
I think he's doing wonderful things, and he comes into it. He came into it. I started watching him when he first started doing the whole thing, and he has a different approach. He has a different, you know,
yes.
but he's so like
He's so laid back.
laid back and honest. Like he's just like,
Yeah,
like he's never like what he never wants money, but he just developed that channel so quickly,
so
and
fast.
so fast, like
Do you
so quickly.
remember whenever Drone started trying to contact him?
Yes, there was something. I remember something there too. Yeah, and then he started talking nasty about Jeff too.
Yeah, real bad. He threatened Jeff. Yeah, I have it somewhere. I played it on one of my lives.
Like the dude, like you're doing your thing. Like, listen, everybody has their shtick, so to speak, like that they do down in Kensington, and everybody is playing a role in helping. So,
Oh
like Jeff,
no, he thinks he's the god of Kensington, the wound man of Kensington. And he said yesterday he deserves to have a plaque from YouTube.
well, he better work for it.
I said, well, then get
Him
out
and that,
there and fucking work
him
for
and
it.
that she should link up. They should link up.
Yeah.
Okay, well, 'cause here's the thing, okay? Here's the thing. There's so many people that have started channels after me, and they've gotten so many subscribers, even in this community. I gotta tell you something. I was so proud of myself. My goal was I want to get to 500 subscribers, and I finally, yesterday or today, finally got just right over the 500 mark. And I'm like, that
Oh,
was like
good.
I'm like, I don't go on all that often, and I'm not like, and I'm like, but you know what? Like to me, that was an accomplishment because I wanted to see my channel grow at least that much. And
Yeah,
I
of
go on
course.
haphazardly. I don't have a schedule. My life is my family first, and then YouTube is like probably whatever on the list. But I was proud of myself for that. But like, I mean, mine grows a lot slower. It doesn't mean that like I'm doing anything, I don't know, like bad. It just, some people grow faster than others.
Yeah, I mean, I just started my buzzing about crime. I got, I think, let me see how many. I don't even
I
sometimes
think you
keep
had a
those.
hundred and something when I joined. It was like very early on.
Right now, I've
Um,
got 289,
oh, good for you. See, look at that. We got to
and
promote it.
on honeybees, I got 1250. But for honeybees, I was under the old terms of service, which meant you had to have 1,000 subscribers. And
Well, that's the thing. I initially needed 500 just to be able to make a community post, and that's really why
yes,
I had that goal. And then they changed it halfway through, like, you know what I mean? But I was too, the same thing. Yeah.
yeah,
Does Drones live in Kensington? He lives right outside
he
Kensington,
lives
I
in
believe.
South. He lives in South Philly, about 20 minutes from Kent. Well, probably a little further about 20 minutes on the train, probably a
Mm.
little further. But he grifted for a whole car,
Mm-hmm.
and
Yes, he did. Yes, he did.
all the people that he just shit on came over to my channel, and I modded them up.
So the
Just
people that gave him money for the car, he's already pushed to the side.
yeah, she's in my chat now.
No shit.
Yeah, she's in my chat now, chatting with. I mean, all of his people left him, and they came to
Again,
mine.
again. He goes through a lot of people.
He does. He does. And he's pissed off because he's sitting at, he says all this time he's so proud of, look at me. I've got 40,000, almost 40,000 subscribers, blah, blah, blah. And then the other day it's like, I should be getting a play button. You got people that drive around down here and they don't even give anything back and they've got 200,000 subscribers. I'm like,
Oh,
you are a piece of shit. You
you
just
know,
think about yourself.
yeah, like, okay, so what? I mean,
You want me to tell you what he does? He takes one day out of the week, and he's told everybody this for several years. He takes one day out of the week and he goes to Kensington and he films. And he takes that film and he breaks it into 4 videos or
oh, so he makes
five
it like he's been down
videos.
there 4 days. I gotcha.
So, in all of those 5 videos, he hands out 6 bags to help people. Who the you mean to tell me you left with a bag that was full?
I hear him say he doesn't want to just give it all out at once
Give it
because then they'll
all.
all be gone. But
You know
here's the thing.
why?
But
You
here's
know
the
why?
thing. Why?
Because he won't get 26 minutes worth of video.
Right, but he could stand there for 26 minutes talking to that one group of people.
Thank you.
Because if they all
He don't
need
get
it, and
that.
well, people
He
will just,
don't.
and I get it. People will take things just to take things, but I think people have gotten to the point where they take it if they need it. They don't just take it to take it now because
Cindy,
there's so
he
many people down
walks.
there.
Yeah, he walks by people and they say no
Oh,
all the time.
Bama goes 6 bags of what? Oh yeah, he's giving out crack. No, he's he's he
He
gives
says
out
he gives out wound
wound
care
care,
and
wound care.
winter gear.
She goes 6, I would think that too. 6 bags of what? He puts together bags for like people that have like the open sores. So it's like antiseptic and bandages,
Mind
and
you,
there's
he's not
candy in
spending the
there.
money. He's not spending the money for it. His subscribers send in
Right,
these medical
correct.
supplies.
They do. He
And
has a
he's
wish
pissed
list
off right now. You know why he's pissed off right
because
now?
no one's sending him anything.
Because no one's sending him any cash apps. He quit having lives because of the haters and trolls, he said, and he didn't need them. But then he comes back and says, "Well, I'm struggling. I need cash apps and I need tips and I was
Oh,
making about,
here.
I wasn't making anything on my lives. I didn't think.
Oh,
I mean, he wants to get paid for having a live chat.
I mean, the other thing too, and I'm not like, I mean, I've watched a lot of his, stuff and what he's talked about, what he's done. He also has a tremendous clothing jersey collection, sneaker collection, drones collection. There are so many things that he could sell if he really needs
Oh,
money.
oh no, he would never sell his gadgets. Go, go, gadget, go.
Right. I mean, if it was a choice of putting food on the table or buying something for myself like that I didn't need, obviously I would
Honey,
choose. But
he
he
has
won't.
grifted
He's
for
the kind of
milk
person that
for
will
his
just like,
child. He
mm,
has grifted for cat litter for his cat that shit on the fucking bed
oh my
because
god.
there was no cat litter in the house.
Mm.
Oh, he begged for that, girlfriend.
They do
Yeah,
they do have programs, Bama, but some of the people, um, they have a van that goes around that has the wound care, and things have gotten better over time. I think they're,
yes,
um,
things are
I
better.
Savage Sisters is there, but I heard somebody say that Savage Sisters
Savage
is gonna be
Sisters is shutting
they're
down.
shutting down. I heard that. I heard that they're shutting
Yes,
down.
I don't
And
know why.
that was a place that people could go, but people don't wanna, like, the only other place to go to would be the hospital, and people don't wanna go to the hospital because
Because
they're
they'll
on
get
the
sick.
outskirts, and then they're away from when they need their next fix type of thing. So, and they're not just gonna give you supplies at the hospital, they're gonna make you wait to
Yeah.
get care. You know what
Well,
I
let
mean?
me
Like,
tell you something. One fucking band aid is not going to do anything for the wounds care that these people need.
this is it's just it's disgusting and awful
I
how it's
mean,
literally eating people from the inside out. It's crazy.
it's extremely. It starts as a little pimple to a sore to an open
Right.
scab and it
Anything any little
grows.
cut on your body, it's gonna find its way because it
Yes.
wants to get out of the body because it's not supposed to be meant for human, so it's gonna
Yes.
try to find its way to get out anywhere possible, and if it sees, like, a pimple or a cut that's, like, something a lesion in your body, it's a little somebody said they cut themselves shaving, and that's how it happened to somebody, and they lost
Yeah.
half their leg that way because it wants to exit your body, and that's the only way that it
Mhm.
can, yeah. Bama says
I
he needs
can't.
to change his profile picture. I haven't even seen it. I don't even know what it looks like. Oh my god.
He's
That's
wearing one of those full head masks, like a wrestler's
oh,
mask.
oh my
He
god.
looks ridiculous. He hasn't changed his profile the whole time he's been on. I mean, if you are going to have a channel, you need to change up your shit.
Yes.
I'm constantly updating and changing, and
Mhm.
and
Mhm.
now he begs. Oh, girl, it's you have to watch my buzzing about crime sometime
I
because.
do. I catch
Oh
it
yeah,
sometimes.
you do. You did say you do.
Oh, yeah. Oh, no. I mean, I watched the whole thing with his sisters and his, mother even
Yeah,
came
and
up.
that right there
That
just
was
fell into my that.
crazy.
You know
Oh,
what
no,
that
I
was?
watched
A
it. I
pile of
did.
shit. That's what happened.
What's that?
I said, you know what that was?
What's that?
Besides the story, outside of it, because I mean, I she came in my chat. I had no clue. She came up on my. I let her up on my panel, and boom, boom, bam, bitty. Here's this whole god awful story. I had no clue
Mhm.
what was fixing to be said, what was fixing to be told. And
Oh,
all I can
you
say
really
is,
um,
eh, uh, yeah, that was crazy, girl. That
that
was
is
crazy.
that is crazy. Hey, do me a favor, check the private chat when you get 1 second before I
Yeah.
forget to tell. Okay. Are you guys hanging in with us here? Thank you for hanging with us, guys. We've been on for 2.5 hours. My God. Oh my gosh. Um, okay.
Okay.
This is the other thing I wanted to say, and then we'll get off.
Yeah.
Because we can always do this another day. I love how we go. This is like Friday night. We go off on tangents. We go off into
Yeah.
left field
Yeah.
sometimes, but that's okay.
Go
Um,
down those rabbit trails.
this is the other thing I wanted to say. So the word terrorize, okay?
Yes.
It can take on a lot of different meanings, okay? Um, they can be the extreme meaning, okay? Like what happened in 9/11, okay?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Um,
Be right
now
back.
it also can mean to make someone feel very frightened by threatening to kill or hurt them. Oop, what happened? She dropped down. Honeybees! She'll be back. All right. When you terrorize someone, you act in a way that makes that person feel um, petrified or full of fear. Okay. Um, you guys still there? So I don't know if I would loosely use the term terrorize. What do you guys think? I think that's a pretty strong word. I do. I think that's a pretty strong word. You guys can still hear me, right? I hope I didn't lose anybody. I still have internet. Honeybees, where'd you go? Oh, hang on 1 second, guys. Hold on. Sorry, guys. I was just getting a message here. Hold on 1 second. Oh, here she is.
Sorry.
My internet, because sometimes my internet gets wonky.
Okay.
Okay. All right. So I was just giving the definition of terrorize.
Okay.
Honeybees?
Yeah.
Hello? Oh, okay. Sorry. So the
Yeah.
definition, okay, so the definition of terrorize is um, create and maintain a state of extreme fear and distress in someone to fill with terror, to make someone feel very frightened by threatening to kill or hurt them.
Hmm.
Okay.
Yep.
Obviously, that's a very strong word, right?
Yes.
Um, it makes a person fear for their physical safety or damages to property from one person to another. Okay, so I mean, these are obviously extreme, extremes, right?
Right.
The title of she's live tonight before she, you know, went off abruptly and whatever, and you can't see it because she puts it on members only for a little while. It was about a stage 4 cancer patient. I'm going to paraphrase it. Stage 4 cancer patient is constantly being terrorized by people.
Yeah.
Yeah. So when we're speaking about things, that is not terrorizing.
Right.
Oh, get the fuck out of here, you asshole. Do not come into my house, please. Thank you. We don't do that shit over here. Go punch your donkey dick. Sorry. Um, fuck
Oh,
me.
I love it.
Oh my
That's a
god.
new one.
Go punch your
Oh gosh. That's fucking hilarious.
Do not fuck with me. This is my house, and you do
Thank
not come in
you.
here.
Yep. That's what I do too, girl.
Nope, nope, not having it.
You
Um,
want to, if you want to chat, but don't be a dick. Mm-mm.
no, don't need you here. Um, that's a very, very, very strong word.
Yeah.
Oh, this is what I was going to say earlier too. When I said the other night, I'm not giving it any light or any water,
Right.
I didn't mean because again, this is the twisting of words. They just want me to die. They just want me to just, that's it. No, what I want to not give any light or water is the negative attitude and the bashing of a child that has cancer, whatever you want to call it, the not so nice behavior, let's put it that way, that encompasses everything. The shitty fucking way you're treating Bama and Gracie, that's not what we're going
Yeah.
to give any light to. The shitty fucking way you treated Valdez when they came into your chat last night and you were very, very rude. Okay. um and yeah, maybe you apologize today, but you know what, it doesn't matter because look at how you react when somebody comes in to actually be very kind.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Um,
Mm-hmm.
that's not what I want to give any light or any water to because that doesn't deserve it, you know?
Exactly.
It just fuels the negativity, you know?
It's just,
But to use
you
the word
know,
terrorize, there have been people in this world that have lived in terror, okay?
yeah.
And I understand someone's experience is only their experience and it's their feelings, and I get that, and I would never trivialize that. However, I don't see anybody, at least in this corner, maybe somewhere else, I don't know. Um, yes, she treated Valdez completely awful, right? And her apology was very half-assed today too. I'm sorry, it was, you know.
So
Um,
she apologized to Bama and
yeah,
then
what?
and ripped me a new one.
She's like, honeybees. All I ever heard her say was, honeybees, I don't even know you. I don't even know you. I didn't even know your story. I didn't know anything about your son. I don't even know you. And I'm like, whatever. You know what? It doesn't matter if you know her or she knows you. You're speaking about behavior that you're seeing. You're
Yeah.
projecting somebody that's going through something that you also went through with your child. That's how you're speaking about it. And you're thinking to yourself, I can't even imagine putting yourself in Bama's shoes if you had had to go through that on top of all of the
Hmm.
craziness that you were going through at that time. And that's exactly how you spoke about it. And you were showing support to Bama and you're saying, I can't imagine. I can't imagine. I can't imagine. And you have every right to speak about it.
Hmm. I do. I do. This is my story. You have your story. You choose
To
not
put
to
it out
tell
there.
us your journey. You choose to bitch and slander people and fight. I don't know what you're getting out of this, but tell us about your journey. What are you going through? I mean, I don't understand. All we're doing is sharing with people her journey.
I would exactly. And Bama's very private, so she only shares a little bit.
Yes,
And that's also in some ways it's a self-protection,
it
because
is.
when you have anxiety and you can't talk about it all at once, because you have to do it in bits and pieces, because it is incredibly draining, it is incredibly emotional, and you have to do it when you're ready. And however somebody does it is okay, but for somebody else to criticize how somebody else is doing it is not okay, you know?
Right.
I mean, I'll give you a perfect example of, I mean, and Bama will remember this. When I spoke up a year ago, 6 months ago, whenever I've spoken up about her, whenever I have talked about SG, it really pertains to her going after Bama and Gracie. So this is not the first, nor the second, nor the third time I probably have spoken about it, because it's happened that many times, unfortunately. Um,
Mhm.
her comeback was, Cindy, you fake heart failure patient. You probably are just sniffing coke and drinking all night. You shouldn't be a mother. You should have your children taken away. And wouldn't it be a shame if somebody called to have you basically like looked? And I'm like, that's what?
Wow.
I mean,
What?
I come on here enough for people to know I'm not a belligerent fucking coke sniffing sloppy drunk. I mean, that's not me. I mean, if anybody who's
Wow.
listened to me long enough to know that that's not me, but that's the narrative, because she didn't like when I was pointing out what was being said, and then of course, she's like, and I'm like, that's her bringing up my children, like even just in that context, and I'm like, that's not you. That's not even, well, first of all, it wasn't meant to be funny, but I mean, that's just, how did you get to that point when I was just standing up for what was right? You know?
Yeah. Yeah. How do you
Right.
go from A to Z
Right. Well, Bama,
that quick?
you can, yeah, well, that's the thing. That doesn't equal what, oh, you think I'm doing, oh, okay, all right, well, I'm
She
not.
either dirty deleted them or Bama, or she put them to members only.
A lot of times what she does is she puts them on the members only, and then some of them will come back on regular live stream things, but um she says she does that because Bobbles flags everything. I don't really think Bobbles is spending her entire day focused on SG. I mean, I really don't.
No,
I don't think so.
I don't
um
spend my entire day focused on drones. I promise you.
well, Bama, listen, here's the thing. Yeah, exactly. I would love for you to share whatever you want to share, and I don't want you to ever be fearful that SG is going to attack you, because
Yeah.
I can promise you one thing. I can probably almost guarantee, I shouldn't say promise. I could probably 95% guarantee you, 98% guarantee you, she's all talk.
Mm-hmm.
And what she's trying to do is it's her intimidation factor of you not talking about what you're going through. So
Mm-hmm.
it gives her more attention for what she's going through. She's trying to
Well,
take that light away from her, and
yeah, and she
afraid that,
loves it.
what?
She loves the response she gets.
And that's why I'm trying not to give it a lot of light. I don't want to talk about her, but I also
No,
want
I'm not
to,
talking
I
about
want
your response. I'm talking about she likes the response that Bama gives, as in being quiet, because that shows that she's,
fearful.
oh, I'm getting over on her, and
Right,
Bama's
right,
fearful. She likes that.
right, right, right.
She likes the conversation also. She likes to fight. She likes discord and chaos. She
Absolutely.
loves it.
Why do you think that she twists things?
Mhm.
I
Mhm.
think it's an I truly believe it's an on purpose thing. I do.
Oh, it's on purpose.
And it's getting more and more of like very concerning when she's not listening to her best mod who's stuck by her hand and foot, Tanger, when Tanger was telling her to
Mhm.
like basically calm down last night, like Valdez had good intentions, and she wasn't even wanting to listen to Tanger last night in the chat.
Mhm.
And Tanger just
Yeah.
says now, well, I'm gonna go to bed now. I feel bad for her because I know that she cares, and she just it's like she's like the whipping boy. You know what I mean? Like
Well,
unfortunately.
SG's a big bully.
Yeah.
That's
So
all she is a big bully. And what do you have to do to a bully? Huh.
walk away, knock them down,
Knock their asses down.
give them your sandwich in the
You
playground.
know, look, you have to deal with the bully straight up, real quick, and
Oh
on
yeah.
purpose.
Yeah.
Just like take for instance a man that is
No, I know.
trying to talk to you or out of his way, or a child. You deal with them the first time, and that's the only time you're going to deal with it.
Right. No, you're
Um,
right. No, you're right, Bama. I know. I mean, I feel bad because I know she supports her so much, and yet, and she does co-sign everything, but as she just walks all over her, and all Tandra wants to do is just be there so she knows that she has support, and that's
yeah,
the
but
hard
that's not
part.
a true friend. A true friend,
She tells you,
she stays out of fear.
and
I mean, I'm not saying she doesn't love SG. I'm saying that
no,
she
you're right.
stays.
Listen, here's the thing: if you can be straight up, and I like when people are straight up and honest with me.
Mhm.
Because a good
Mhm.
friend will tell you when you're wrong, and you
Yes.
might not like it, but
Mhm.
that's a true friend.
That's it. Yeah, and being afraid of a friend is not a good thing.
No.
That's
That's a really
that's
good no, that's a really you guys are making a really good that's a really good point. You know, you're right. You're
you
right.
know,
You're right.
I'm not saying I don't feel bad for Tanger. I don't, I feel bad for
No,
the
but you're right. She
situation
needs to
she's
not
in.
yeah, because she's been yeah, no, I understand. And I'm not again, this is not me talking badly about Tanger SG because she's tried to say that I talk
No,
badly about
no, no,
Tanger.
no, no.
But
I'm
I
not
know
talking bad
I
about
I know
Tanger.
Tanger has been through the ringer with her and she's
Yeah,
gotten
I
kicked
don't.
to the curb and she's gone back and she's like, she doesn't have anybody. And I would just and now SG's using the narrative of, well, Tanger, you're gonna have to be the one to let people know if I just die. I'm like, oh my God.
Oh my God.
Like putting that shit on her hard and heavy.
See, that's what I'm saying. A friend don't do.
Yeah, this is it's getting to an
It's a warped friendship. Let's say
yeah. I mean, it's just you just don't do that to people like
it's
whatever.
emotional
Abuse.
abuse,
Yep, there you go. Yeah. No, you're right. And she
and
knows
she's
how
playing mind games with Tanger, and Tanger
manipulative. Yeah,
really does
it's
love her. So
it's a manipulation. It's a manipulation big time. Yeah.
yeah. And I'm
No,
not
you're right.
talking about. I don't know Tanger. I don't know. I don't talk about them. I have something to say about SG because of
No, but
her
you're right.
character
It
and
is a
her
that
attitude.
is
But
that is total manipulation.
yeah,
Like,
yeah, it is.
um, ugh,
And that's what she's trying to do to all of us.
well, it's not working.
Well, no, because
It's never worked with me. It's never
we
worked.
don't have her psychotic glasses on.
It's never worked with me. You don't need to tell me,
Cindy,
listen.
I wear my own
Mhm.
damn glasses.
Wait, what? What'd you say?
I
What?
said that's because she has her psychotic glasses on.
Her I was
I
like,
don't.
"I thought you told me to put my glasses on." I'm like, "They're on. I'm reading. I'm okay." Yeah, right. Oh my god, wait. Bama, she keeps saying what? She keeps that's right, because Hippie Chick came in and made a comment in my and Hippie Chick doesn't come over too
I
much, but she made
noticed
it she
that she
thinks you're
kept
hip
saying she
okay,
was hippie
Bama.
chick. What the?
Okay. Alright, I'm gonna put this out here right now.
You're not hippie
I have
chick.
spoken to Hippie Chick on the phone. I have spoken to Bama on the phone. They are not the same person. They are incredibly different.
They're so confused over there. Poor
She thinks
things.
you're
They're
Hippie
just
Chick.
confused.
You should make Hippie Chick sock account. Hippie Chick Hippie Bama. Make
uh,
Oh my god, she thinks you're Hippie Chick? Really? That's hysterical. No, Hippie Chick is Hippie Chick. Hippie Chick is a total I've talked to Hippie Chick. I've talked to you, Bama. I'm putting it out there right now. From Cindy Infinity. Not drunk, not doing drugs, completely stone cold sober, drinking her water,
drinking my Coke. I am
drinking my
stoned.
water, and having a Cadbury mini egg. Oh my god, you sound nothing alike. Yes. She goes, I love my hippie. Yes, you sound nothing alike. Oh my god. The next thing she's gonna say is that you're Izzy Izzy. That would be so funny too. Oh my god. That's the thing. People are just commenting on the behavior and
Mhm.
it, yeah, and that's all. And we're here to support Bama. And I'm like,
Yeah.
Just, and there you go. Perfect
Just
example
because
of
I
all
have an
this.
opinion doesn't mean it's a terroristic attack and a threat.
Listen, people have opinions of me all the time, and a lot of times they're not good, but I'm not saying that I'm getting terrorized like, over here,
Right.
you know what I mean?
I just
Like,
let it go and I don't think about it anymore.
well, and here's the
Maybe
thing.
that's what
Here
she needs to
and here
practice.
well, but here's the other, if you can't handle it for the moment, like, I understand YouTube is YouTube, right? But if you're in an emotionally heightened state, right, or a vulnerable state, maybe you need to step away, and I'm not saying her, I'm saying I step away sometimes when I
Anybody.
know
I do too, yeah.
I need a break. Like, you don't
Mhm.
always have to be on here, and by the way, playing live streams from 4 or 5 years ago when not a lot of us were around, you're just going back to the same, you're bringing up the same old rhetoric. You're bringing up the same old thing. Like, focus on being, I
Well,
don't
it's
know,
trying to kill a dead horse. I mean, he's
it's just,
already
but here's
dead.
the thing, she just keeps going back to this happened with Tom Reed, this happened with Bobbles, this happened. Oh, and they're just trying to make me wanna not
Jesus.
live anymore, and it's like, well,
It's over and done with,
why don't you
lady.
show them and prove them wrong?
Yeah.
That would give you a lot more clout than what you're doing.
Get in there and make some cookies. I
Yeah.
don't know. Do
I mean,
something.
there was a full moon this past week. A lot of people were all out of pocket and fugazied. I could just tell, like, in general, you know what I mean, in the world. Um, it's so odd, Bama. It is. I mean, it is a holiday weekend. People can get funkified on holiday weekends because, for one reason or another, holidays can make people funky. But these are no
Yep.
excuses because I don't have. I don't know. It's just you need to not, and what we need to do is just, like, not us, but, like, I mean, I so many times I don't pay attention, but when I hear she's speaking the whole nastiness about Bama and Gracie was just really upsetting me, and it
Yeah.
aggravated me tremendously. And
Yeah, that
um and
ticks
I
me.
and I and sometimes I just, that's one thing with me. I'm like, you know what? You could talk about me all day long, but you don't talk about innocent children, whether they're mine or somebody else's. And I think one of the
Yep.
first times I spoke about it over a year ago, I didn't even really know Bama that well. She would pop in and out of certain chats, but I spoke about it not even knowing her and not even knowing her daughter, just saying, "This ain't fucking right.
Right.
Right is right and wrong is wrong, and I'm gonna speak about what's right and what's wrong." You know what I mean?
And
Like,
a grown up should know better. A grown up should know better.
you know what? You're right. And Bama, it says it here. She said, "Work on living and having peace and positivity in your life." She ain't gonna get it by
Mhm.
doing what she does. And she keeps trying to say, "Oh, I'm just fine." No, your attitude, like, meaning, like, she's like, "I'm very positive over here." And then it's like, and I'm like, "Oh,
Yeah.
like, I'll tell you what, the way that you feel
I don't
inside."
really listen to SG. I mean, I've popped in a couple of times or whatever, but I mean, I I just couldn't stand it. My spirit, I guess.
It's rinse, wash, repeat, and now we're going back even further
Yeah.
now, because at first it
I
was the
just
whole, eh, you gotta get over the fact that some people may have been not nice to you when you were diagnosed, and you know what? Those are the people you wanna kick to the curb right away and not even look back. But she keeps looking back and looking back and looking back. It's like,
oh,
"You
but
wanna, like, look in that
move
rearview mirror and
forward.
change it?"
Nobody cares.
No, but, like,
That's the
she
reason you
needs to
got
not,
50 people and ain't nobody chatting because
she
people are
needs to
tired of hearing the same shit.
right, she needs to
And
focus on
please
what's in
don't
front
come on and read a fucking book.
of her.
Anybody
She
can
needs
do that.
She needs to focus on what's in front of her and the people in her chat that support her, she needs to be engaged with.
Transparent.
Well, yes. But just engage with them and thank them for being there. And I don't know why anybody wants to just listen to, like, listen, the last thing
You
I
know
want to do
what? I'm going to
is
be
live through a
honest with
rearview
you.
mirror.
If she wasn't so mean in what I've seen in the last 2 years and heard, I would be in her chat encouraging her because God forbid I know anybody that gets cancer and has to go it alone or
Yeah.
anything. But she doesn't talk about her journey. I know nothing about her journey.
Right.
People
And
that
sometimes
want you
people
to
don't
know.
Right.
You
So,
know,
and I was gonna say, sometimes people don't wanna speak about it, but here's the thing, when you're putting it out there that this is what you're going through, but then you don't wanna follow it up with anything of your journey,
then
it
what's your
doesn't have
page about?
right, like, that's what her whole I mean, I understand she says, "I was Survivor Girl before I was diagnosed with cancer because I am a survivor." Okay, fine, but it also says hashtag fighting breast cancer, okay? So and she always has everything with starting with, "When you wanna do this to a stage 4 ca," and her narrative is stage
Nobody
4
has
this, and
done anything
then
to her.
but then the second someone comes in and mentions cancer, she's like, "I just don't why do you guys always think I wanna talk about it? I don't wanna talk about it." It's like,
She never does.
but you're putting it out there all the time. You're harassing a stage 4 can listen, we all can say, like, "I'm this, I'm a heart failure." Well, you're medical bullying me. You're medical bullying, Bama, and she's a mother going
Mhm.
through it with her I mean, like, if you're
Yes,
putting it
there
if you
is.
stop just stop saying the stage 4 thing because and before it was the anti-Semitic thing, she said, "They're all anti-Semitic." No, 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 the answer
Oh,
is no,
jeez. Wow.
and that's not true,
Okay.
and when you wanna harass and she always uses these trigger words of, like, trying to make us out to be, um, worse, like
Yeah.
listen, my mother battled breast cancer and whatnot. Like, I have grandparents that have died from cancer. I have a friend of mine who lost her husband when her son was 3 years old to a very, very rare form of carcinoma cancer. And 9 months
Mhm.
from the time he was diagnosed to the time he passed, he was only 39 years old. I have
Mhm.
there have been so many people in my own personal life that have been affected by cancer or by other ailing illnesses, and I have
Mhm.
a lot of empathy and sympathy and love for people for what they're going through.
Yeah.
Don't ever say that we're terrorizing you, stage 4, blah, 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 whatever you wanna say, and if you wanna keep putting that in there as your narrative or as your title, then people are gonna come in and ask you about it, and don't get
Yeah.
mad when you do, because when you're putting that out there, you're wanting that kind of attention, and so people
Mhm.
naturally are gonna come in and say, "Hey, how are you doing with that? What's going on with that?" You know?
Right. They're gonna wanna know how you're doing.
Bama, if I think you're exactly right. She wants complete validation for everyone who has wronged her. Sorry, but life does not work that way. Well, you know what? Here's the thing. Wanting that validation from everyone who has wronged her, she's pushed away all the good people in her life too.
Yeah, and let me say this, just because someone says something against you doesn't mean I've been wronged.
Right.
There's a difference, and people I mean, I don't know that she doesn't understand that,
You can have a
or
difference of
she's
opinion, but
yeah.
here's the thing. You can't have one when you're over there. And I have said this
Don't
before.
tell
You have
me what I
you
can or can't do, though. You know what I'm saying? You
well, God,
can't
no.
use that child and exploit her.
And
First of
listen.
all, I gave birth to this child.
Yeah,
I
thank you.
mean, you know, don't tell me what I can or can't do, lady. This is my platform,
Right. And when you're
you
threatening to
know?
call the authorities on people that doesn't get taken lightly. Like, that's terrorizing somebody, in my opinion.
Yes. Shit,
That's
call the law on me. I know too many people in my little town of law enforcement. They'll just laugh. Be like, "Oh my god, why are we going to Honeybee's house?"
well, I'm glad that we at least got it out there that these are 2 words that have been used recently that
Yeah.
are completely being misused. I mean, it is putting a narrative out there that is way
Mhm.
beyond the scope of things, you know?
Yeah, definitely.
And again, no one's taking the bait because they know it's not true. They can come over and verify,
Mhm.
you know?
Mhm. Mhm.
No one is wishing her, um, anything but to get better, but here's the thing, I'm not gonna go over there and say anything because I'll do it from a distance, and people do things from distances, right? But you gotta just stop and think to yourself, like, you gotta focus on what's in front of you. Focus on the good that's in front of you, the good people in your chat, the good people that are there to support you, you know?
Yeah.
Oh my god, she's saying that you're using Gracie as a
Mhm.
fuck.
Yeah.
You know
Yeah.
what?
That's what she
She's
said.
just a fucking idiot, and I don't ever criticize people. You're just a fucking idiot.
Mhm.
She just likes to this is somebody that wants to just stir up shit. She really doesn't believe the shit that comes out of her mouth.
Mm-hmm.
No. That's right. And you better smear we're gonna smear Gracie's name everywhere. She even said she made fun made some kind of a comment about us doing hashtag Team Gracie. Oh, you can be over there and saying hashtag Team Gracie. Well, I'm not really hashtag anybody. Okay, well, no one's
Hold on.
forcing you to do hashtag Team. This is our thing to support her. Like it's a fun little thing, not fun, but you know what I mean. It's a fun thing for us to promote positivity to supporting
Mm-hmm.
Gracie. And we like Valdez the other night in my chat was like Team Gracie, Team Gracie. I'm like, you know what? Let's all put hashtag Team Gracie at the end of
Team
our.
Gracie.
I said I'm taking down hashtag winning because that was always my thing. But I'm like I'm putting up hashtag Team Gracie. And you know what? Everybody should. We should still encourage that for people to do.
Mm-hmm.
You
Mm-hmm.
know,
Yes,
um,
ma'am.
and because that's what's showing positivity. Just like she has hashtag fighting breast cancer that she doesn't want to fucking talk about. Don't ask me any fucking questions because I won't talk about it. But then you're gonna, I mean, come on.
Yeah, that's
You can use
crazy.
your child. You can do whatever you need to do with your child. Not use your child, but
She
you
don't get to
can say whatever
use.
you want, and you can talk about your child as much as you want. And you know
First
what?
of all,
Talk about
you're
her as
not
much as you want.
using.
You
First of all,
talk
this
about
is
her
your
as much
story.
in
Fuck.
the present because you know what? That's gonna give you guys fuel, and that's what's gonna get her better. So
Hey,
no,
Bama,
no.
Bama. When I cash out you the other day, remember my note. Remember my note. Screenshot it and go back to it and reread it and reread it.
Mhm. Right?
Just mm-mm.
No, no, no. We're gonna nip this in the bud right away. I
Yeah,
want Bama to talk. I want Bama in her own way, not to be forced, but I want her to talk about things and not be scared to talk about them because when you talk about them, it also is very therapeutic.
that's right.
Okay, you're not worried about her wretched ass. I know, seriously.
Mm-hmm.
Her stinky ass. I know.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
You have too much going on. We
Focus on
will
positive.
deal with her. You focus
Yep.
on Gracie and
Focus on
yourself
positive.
because um, mothers need rest too. Remember that,
Yeah,
baby
man.
doll.
People don't understand that. They don't understand. They think you can just keep going and going and going, and you're not
No,
an Energizer bunny. You
no.
know?
When my husband would come for just 48 hours on the weekends, it was like heaven.
Yeah, I'm sure. I'm
Yeah, because I
sure.
would just be so exhausted.
Mm-hmm.
And so, yeah, it was great.
Yeah.
So,
Well, this was a wonderful chat tonight. Thank you for
yeah,
coming up and co-hosting with me. I appreciate it.
you're so welcome. Thank you
Um,
for asking me
Bama, we're
up.
here if you need anything, honey. Obviously, we're gonna continue. Listen, we're gonna point out the stuff that she's saying that's wrong, and I'm not,
Mm-hmm.
listen, I could put her down in so many ways and criticize her in so many ways, and I'm not over here calling her any names other than I said she's a fucking idiot because she is for saying that you're using your child. Good God. You know what?
Mm-hmm.
Here's the other
Yeah.
thing. Talking about stuff in the past is great, but talking about what's going on in the present is also good. And the other thing I noticed about her, she always talks about stuff in the past, talks about stuff from 4 or 5 years ago with Bobbles. She talks about stuff
Mm-hmm.
like, oh, my daughter is a triple Dean's Miss. And I'm not talking about her daughter. I'm mentioning something she says. She always brags
Right.
about that. And that's something that's very braggable. But you're not mentioning even anything in the present, like, "Oh, I met my daughter out for lunch today. It was so nice to see her." You know?
Right.
Doesn't have to be details. You're not mentioning anything in the present. You're talking about way in the past about
Yeah.
everything.
Everything's in the
She's
past.
living in the past and she's not creating anything for now, you know?
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah.
Well, I'm
Um,
gonna jump down. I am
yeah,
exhausted.
I'm winding down. Vern, you came in
Yeah.
at the last minute. You gotta go rewind now. Hi, my friend. How are
Hey,
you?
Vern.
How are you? I miss you. I was meaning to message you actually. I know, Bama, you've been exhausted. I've got a lot of other ideas though, and honeybees, I'll get with you because I have some ideas.
Okay, sounds good. Get
Oh
with
my
me.
Yeah, right. I will get with
Bye,
you, babe.
Bama
We're gonna get
Bell.
on some
Love.
stuff for Bama. Guys, thank you so much for coming in. Vern, you're late to the game here. I'm just about winding down. I didn't think I was gonna be on for 3 freaking hours,
Good
but
night,
that's
Cindy.
all right. Good night, honeybees. Have a good one, sweetheart.
You too. Bye,
Thank
Bama.
you. Well, you guys, it was fun. Vern, we were going through the dictionary of things tonight. You're in your sleeper? What? You're in Ohio? Oh, wow. Oh my goodness. I'll have to message you. I'll message you. Oh my goodness. Oh, nice. Oh, you're driving for work. That's right. Good. Good for you. Good for you. That's awesome. It must be so nice to get out and about, I'm sure. Very nice. Well, you caught the tail end of this. We did not expect to be on this long, but we had a really nice chat tonight. And thank you guys all for coming in. Bama, you know we got you, girl. We got you always. But yeah, it was like I had to address that. It was just not. Oh wow, you're getting ready to head back to Nevada. No kidding. Too bad you're not closer. You could swing by for Sunday dinner on Easter here. I'd make you a plate you could take with you. Wow. Well, guys, I am a little tired here, so I'm gonna go get myself a little snack and and kind of wind down with the doggies and all that good stuff. But thank you guys very much. Think I'm gonna go live tomorrow. I'm gonna do a little cooking in the afternoon tomorrow. So I think I'll catch up with you guys maybe tomorrow and try to go live. So anybody that wants to come over and chat and cook with me, um, I would welcome you. Please make sure you guys hit that thumbs up on the way in, on the way out. And I love you guys long time. All right. I love you guys. Thank you so much. I will talk to you guys soon. Take care. Have a good night.